Welcome back to another episode of the Day After podcast.
What is up, guys? As you can see, we got all the 44 contestants right up here. And you see my name, you see Joe's name. We are
Mhm.
about to do our draft for season 44 of Survivor. And I gotta say, well, first off, I literally just finished my list, people.
Yeah. You asked, hey, can I have an extra 10 minutes? I gotta finish this real quick.
Well, I also had to set this up,
Yeah.
set up my tripod and ring light. And also, like, while I was making this, I think I had down my early boots and I was still deciding who like my top were. And there was one person where I'm like, I don't think I'm going to put this person as my number one, but I ended up putting that person as my number one. Though I was like very, very reluctant to do so. I'd say this season it's really tough to see who might the winner be.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. And because of that, and because of last season where Mike Gabler of all people ended up winning the season, I am actually doing a
last
very
chosen.
different way of doing my list here. I wrote my list and I'm going to choose my people in reverse order. So I'm going to be picking from the bottom up.
That might be interesting.
Except for one person who we both kind of know is getting medevac. He's not going to be the first person I'm picking. But
We
if
don't
you watch the
necessarily know.
trailer, you kind of
Yeah,
know most likely who it is.
it, we don't know for certain if it is a medical vac, but
Yeah.
I saw like an IV. They
There's at
broke the
least
fourth
doctors
wall.
around, and that is not a good sign to pick someone.
No, um, we
So
are not having.
because I know that information, I'm not going to pick the person that who would probably be number one in this new order of mine.
Unfortunately, Joe, since I won last time, I
Yep.
do get first pick, which also means you get the final pick. So you will be ending up with this
I
person.
will. I will. Yeah. Unless you want him. I mean, it's up to you.
No. Um, but yeah, looking at this cast, there is a lot of cool people in there. I think it's going to be an interesting season, but I can't help but look at this, and sometimes it's like over over analyzing all this, and sometimes I'm like, is this a glass onion? Where the answer is plain to see, but it's so complex with layers, but you can see right into the middle. I couldn't see through that. It's just like so many different variables. Like these are all, lists of people because I just read the bios, not much else. It's really tough to say. And there's one contestant. I legit did not know. I usually when I do it, I'm like, oh, are they going to be like early merge, medium, high, or something like that? Like something like to be like, all right, where am I placing them when I go through each contestant? There was one person, I just put a question mark. I have no idea where they're going to go. Um, but we'll get to that person when we get to them. Uh, yeah, this perplexed us. And with the Gabler win last season, we have no idea.
Yeah, complete chaos can ensue now. Like the fact that Gabler wins means who knows? Who knows what happens in this new modern era? Am I right, Ryan?
No, I mean, like, there is a somewhat of a pattern.
Yeah, I don't know. Gabler's answer in the preseason to how are you gonna win, sir, or are you gonna win Survivor? He just said yes.
It's a meme worthy right there.
Yeah.
But we will
Okay.
see. Let's get right into it. I'm
Yeah.
still
You get
like,
you get first pick. So who do you want to draft first?
this guy can go. I can see him going far in this game. I was like, ooh, I really like this guy. I didn't know if I want him as my winner pick, but I had all these I cut up some cards and I placed them and I was rearranging before I wrote down on my list. And as I was getting to that top six, I was like, well, I can't really see this person going too far. Can't see this one. And he kind of just like was there, but I'm like, he may not be there. Uh, but because I'm a huge nerd and I love D&D, And we've had two Canadian winners so far. I'm going with Kane Fritzler. Uh,
Oh
you know,
man,
like
I can't believe you're picking. I don't think that's a great pick. I'll be completely honest. Um,
it's
I
a
mean,
gamble.
he was near the bottom of the list, so I was gonna draft him like somewhat recently, like soon, but I think he's a pre-merge boot.
I Here's why I don't think so. Because I studied the trailer a little bit.
Uh-huh.
This may be a spoiler. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, yeah, go for I still am sold on him not making it far. So go say whatever you want.
So there is a boat ride. Now, they didn't show the full boat, but I only saw four contestants on the part of the boat that they shot. So I don't know if it's the full boat, if someone was like in the bow or like the front of the boat or like, off screen or something. So like I saw that he was there and it looked like, oh, this could be a few eliminations in. So I have a suspicion he's at least going to make the merge and possibly jury.
Got it. Unless the Raw 2 tribe is terrible and loses like three challenges in a row.
I think the purple tribe might be in danger.
Mhm.
Um, that being said, like there's one person on there that I put pretty high on my list, but I think the purple tribe might be in danger here. Because of the medevac situation, one contestant that completely, if you watch the trailer, she, it is good old, where do I have her? Carolyn.
Yeah.
She's like rubbing
She,
rocks on herself. And I believe she's the muddy,
she's the Nora of the season.
she self-identifies as Nora. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
especially like early in the game, like I don't know if they have a medevac and they're already down one person in the Tika, sorry, tribe, they're going to want to keep their strong contestants. And
Mhm.
while she does come off as a strong woman because, being in recovery and helping other people with that, the eccentricity she has could bite her in the butt. But we're not talking
Yeah.
about her. We're
Yeah, we're not
talking
talking about
about
Carolyn yet. We're still talking
Kane.
about Kane.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean, I want like he's giving me Daniel Strong vibes from
I understand that completely.
yeah.
However, I'm trying not to let that cloud my judgment.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, he comes from a small town and stuff like that from Canada. Um, and then he's, like he is. He did say he kind of wants to, play like Zeke and stuff like that, social game wise.
Well, Ryan.
Player going to be, but I do think I think he has potential. And out of everyone here, like I was just doing everything, and I feel like just by him playing D&D, him by him playing D&D, and I was
This
like,
feels like why you didn't also like Mike Gabler because of his dislike of skinny jeans. Like you got into this one thing, you're like, man, I'm all in now on that
no, it's not
one
only that.
random thing.
It's not only that. It's also, I think, out of the people that were like in my top six, well, actually, I'll say seven, that I was like switching around and everything. Like I was moving these cards around and everything. And I was like taking into account threat equity. It doesn't, on the appearance, he doesn't have the threat equity. Some of these other contestants,
I actually disagree. I think a lot of people hate schemers and people who are going to be perceived as the smarter people on a tribe, and especially this tribe. I don't think he's actually going to get in with the guys very much, because one of them is an athlete, and the other one is also a very big, kind of stronger guy. I think he could. I think Kane's going to find himself not really getting in with them as well. Like I'm seeing him have some trouble cohesion with his tribe.
I
And then
don't
even moving forward, I think there's only a few other people who I think are really going to want to work with him for like a long period of time. Most people, I think, and what you just said, like with the boat thing, like maybe he makes it to the merge. I don't see him making it much further than that. Like I think he
listen. I have a 1 in 18 shot of getting a winner pick right.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah,
and my
I
goal,
just I think this was way too quick of a first pick. I think this is going to be going down in our drafts as the worst first pick that we've done so far.
I don't think so. Um, Karishma.
Karishma did great. She got final
But
seven.
she did good. However, there was something when we were watching where we were like, uh-oh. Um, also, like for me, you have Karishma. I have Tori. You know, Tori,
Mhm.
I had buyer's remorse from episode one. Oh no. Oh no. So we've all done it. And like I said, I don't know
Yeah,
with
yeah,
Kane.
yeah.
Um,
If he goes home pre-merge, it will be hilarious though, because we have yet to have a one of us pick a first draft as going home pre-merge. We've
the
always our first
it,
drafts have always made it to the merge.
it it could be very possible. It
Mhm.
could be.
Yeah.
So I do like Kane. I think he is a smart guy, but to kind of like build off of what you said, there is someone that's going to be lower on my list that I think that person is going to talk themselves out of the game. I don't think that's going to be Kane though.
Mhm.
And as for like the rest of the Ratu tribe, I know Matthew, the bearded gentleman, he is very much a family guy. Um, so I can kind of see him I wouldn't say counting him out or anything.
Mhm.
Um, I know there's a teacher on that tribe as well and stuff like that. So I don't think all hope is lost for good old Kane.
Yeah, we
But
shall see.
you
But
know,
that's only the
I
first draft pick. We still have
I
17
could
more
be
people to
wrong.
draft
I
here.
very much could be wrong. And
Okay.
if that is the case, I will eat the crow.
Okay.
I will eat the crow.
Okay. We gotta move on. We talked like the last like 10 minutes here on Kane. Okay, my first draft pick. Now I think he's going to be a lot of fun. I think he's going to have a lot of entertainment. However, I think he has a 0% chance of winning this game. So that's why I'm picking him. I'm picking Yam Yam.
I like Yam Yam.
Yeah, I like Yam Yam too. I think he's gonna be a lot of fun. I think he's gonna provide a lot of the entertainment on the season. But I think he's got the Nasir factor of no one in their right mind is going to take Yam Yam to the end of the game. Like this, the
I can
second
kind of
emerge
see that.
happens, he is going to be immediately looked at.
He does he does give off he says he wants to play like Suri. And
Mhm,
you know, Suri obviously being a great player of getting to the end and like Suri knows how to manage her. She's like an incredible social threat. And like this guy oozes social threat. Um I'd say the one thing that might go against him. I'm still thinking of like if they lose you know, like with the metafact that might happen on the Tika tribe. I can see it snowballing a little bit on there.
mhm,
Um, I did have him because there is my draft pick, which I may not totally adhere to, but there is also like I have like I have like the boot order, but it's also like my draft list a bit
mhm.
because like I won't necessarily um pick exactly in that order because that has burned me in the past.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I make a list, but I'll move someone up or down during our draft depending on kind of what's happening in the draft.
yeah, so like Uh, even as I'm going to get the second pick, I do like who I put down for second place, but will I choose that person for my next pick? But let's focus on Yam Yam. Yeah,
Mhm.
um, you know, he I know there's two barbershop people here, but where is he in my notes? I didn't know if he was a barbershop owner or barbershop worker. I think Matthew's the worker or owner, and then Yam Yam salon owner.
Salon owner,
Different.
yeah.
Um, from Puerto
Yeah.
Rico,
It's
36,
also important to note that in that 3 minutes, he is one of the people who gets who talks from
significant.
like Jeff questions him, which we have seen. And I think if you even go back to these recent seasons, the winner does talk in that opening segment when Jeff asks. Gabler gets asked in the opening thing. Marianne got asked an opening question. I don't remember if Erica did. I think she might have.
I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I can't remember Erica, but I know Marianne and I know Gabler did. Those people who get that opening question are either going to be huge players on the season, or there's usually one that's like a red herring, the one person who goes out very early that they're going to kind of make it seem like, ooh, maybe this person, but they're just going out anyways.
I know. I will say, out of the three people that talked, there's two of which where I'm not Yam Yam, but the other two, Matthew and what's her name, Franny, where I'm like, I don't think they're going to fare well
Mhm.
for a couple of reasons. But I do like Yam Yam. I think he definitely has potential. But I think you even said from the first trailer that he was going to be your choice. So I kind of knew it coming. I think it'll be a lot of fun on there.
Yeah.
For however many episodes he'll be in. I had him
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
number
as I said,
12.
I really, I mean, I'm picking him because like I would have probably picked him third or fourth if this wasn't necessarily if I went by my normal drafting style of picking like my people who I think are gonna win, then picking people who I really like, and then picking kind of people who I just think are gonna make it far. Like he would be in that like I'm picking because I like them, but because I'm now kind of going from the mindset of who do I think has 0% chance.
You're doing a George Costanza where you're just gonna do the opposite because last season just totally threw you
Yeah,
off.
yeah. I've got to do it. If if it works, I mean, it will be
I
crazy.
More power to you. More if we did that with Gabler,
Yeah,
you know, okay. So next up for me, I'm still kind of deciding because I'd say, like I said, it's this top six. I'll I can even extend it to top seven or eight. The top third I feel is very interchangeable. Um, but I'm going to have to make an executive decision um, soon. Damn. Uh, I think you know what you guys love it if I fail anyway because I just have the best reactions. It's a gamble, but I'm going to put some money on Maddie Pamia or Pamela.
Maddie. That's I believe this is Maddie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Um, Part of the reason is she is a big Survivor fan. She does want to play like Omar Ansari. She joked around and said with some Malcolm swag. She is a big fan of the game. She's in New York. Well, she's not from New York, but she lives in New York. And she's also a middle child, so she has to fight for attention and stuff like that. So, like it's things like that where I'm like, she definitely has potential. Um, and yeah, no, I don't fully know. I'm interested in what you think of Maddie.
yeah. I think she's got some sleeper threat potential. I put her as number 7 on my list. So
Seven to
I think
choose
she's
or
around the
seven to
middle of the pack,
okay.
like in terms of where I would place her. Um, like I think she's making the merge.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Well, you said something about the middle child. Maybe that will help, but I have a feeling that she might not be able to control the game as much as you need to near, especially the end of the game.
Yeah.
I could see her become more of a passenger and kind of being the sidekick of whoever is really running the game at a certain points.
I, I know she's a super fan. I'm not 100% sure if she could. I think I know there's someone here that wants to do the meat shield strategy.
Mhm.
Um, I think it's definitely playable. I do feel like, yeah, I think I do see Merge. She was my number two pick. So even though I said I might not do that, I may have fibbed. Uh, but we'll see. We'll see. Um, yeah, I think yeah, I mean, like I've only read the bios like twice. One when they came out, and now like this morning, basically.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't know. There's something about her where I'm like, there is potential there, and yeah,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we'll see. Sleeper threats have been the best performing players on recent seasons. So, honestly, just grabbing anyone who could be a sleeper threat is honestly a good strategy.
but was Gabler a sleeper threat?
Oh, he 100% was. No one was like Gabler's winning this, except for Russell Muscle, who somehow won or who somehow predicted it preseason. I don't.
I feel that was a
I think that was a
I
joke and it came
that
true.
was a subversion of expectations.
Yeah.
Like if you're talking Game of Thrones season 7, I'd say on that level. Um, but yeah, all
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
Um,
My next pick, and you know what? I need some crazy mom energy, another 0% chance of winning this game. I'm
you're
picking
actually gonna
Carolyn.
high rate. All right. Let's talk about Carolyn.
Okay. I
First,
will
share your
say
thoughts.
her last name. I don't think Survivor's allowed to say her last name because it's a slang term for a white person trying to act black. So
Have they officially
no,
adopted
I actually was like trying to figure out like how it does she say it differently, and in all of
Wiger?
her preseason press, she only says Carolyn, and then I looked at everyone else's, and everyone else is saying first and last name, but Carolyn is only saying her first name.
Maybe. I'm just until I hear otherwise. I mean, I'm not going to be like saying her full name. She's the only
Yeah,
Carolyn.
yeah.
But
We're just gonna address her as Carolyn, but I
suspension
was
of disbelief, I'm going to assume that it's Wiger.
we can assume it's Wiger. But the fact that they're not saying it makes me kind of go like, oh, maybe they're just trying to cover it up. But yeah, I think she's going to be the Nora of the season. She's going
She
to.
confirmed.
I think she's making it to the end. I think she is the zero vote finalist of the season. I think she's going to make it there. I think it's going to be hilarious to watch her just blow up everyone's game.
I mean, like, I think I know I touched on this a little bit. I do think she is definitely going to be a wacky person, and maybe I, if Tika doesn't do well, I can see her be an early boot. But I don't know. As you know, I've known a person or two to have done like recovery for narcotics or alcohol, and I know it's a tough thing. And the fact that she's in that business and she is, trying to help other people with it, being a single mom and stuff, there is something endearing about that, I will say. She does seem wacky, and to admit that you want to play like Nora, you have all these people that are like Suri, Wentworth. There are not as many Wentworth this season, I will say.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of Jeremy's and stuff, but Carolyn's like Nora.
Mhm. Yeah,
um,
yeah, she's in on the idea of being Nora, and honestly, I think she's just saying that because I think she knows who she is, and that people are going to identify her as a Nora type.
It's good to have that self-awareness.
Yeah. Yeah, so we thought Gabler was going to be this crazy. There's no way that he could get to the end and win. Nora, a Nora type, who knows, could get to the end and win the game.
uh,
So yeah, that's my
the
second
glass
pick there.
onion that is Survivor 44.
Yeah. Oh my God. Imagine this little grouping of Survivor where Gabler and Carolyn are the two winners to come out of it.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
I mean, who knows? This is all what we've seen so far. We might come
Yeah.
to love Carolyn. I think she's going to be very entertaining,
Mhm.
but who knows? She could be a lot smarter than what the pre-season has presented. I mean,
Yeah,
the
true.
Nora thing throws a lot of people off, and when you want to rub yourself with a rock, uh,
Yeah.
it makes you look silly. But
Yeah.
then again, she's saying it, she knows she's silly, so you never know. There is a
People
thing
love
of like,
silly now. I mean, we've seen it.
yeah.
People love people who are crazy.
Also, there is something where being a goofball or being someone that seems innocent or naive lowers your threat equity, which is not a bad strategy.
Mhm.
Um, the caveat or the is it caveat the right word I'm looking for?
I believe so.
But the caveat of that is that people may not want to align with you or take you that seriously,
Mhm.
which is like the danger of doing it too far.
Yeah.
But that was just a confessional, so we don't know how
Yeah,
tribe
if she
chemistry.
wins the game, she's got to do a big move like Marianne did in 42, taking out
Yeah,
her. Like maybe she takes out Yam Yam, who they're on the same tribe. Maybe they become close allies, and she takes Yam Yam out at final 6 or 5 or something in a big move, and can kind of be like, yeah, I took out the biggest player of the game. Maybe I should get the credits. So she's gonna have to have a big move like that near the end, I think.
yeah, I agree.
Okay.
All right, sorry. My roommate knocked over stuff and that scared me. Uh,
Good.
by accident. Um, all right, for my number three pick, this is tricky. I might go down the list a little bit. Um, because this person is a first responder and a fireman nonetheless.
Really?
Yes, I am going to go with Danny Mosa or
Wow, that
Masa.
was my next pick actually.
Part of the reason is the fact that I don't think he's necessarily going to win. I think he might do well,
Yeah.
but because first responders usually do well, um, he was number 7 on my list, but I was like, I might just like have just pick him up just because I have like the itch to do so. I feel he's going to make it probably to the merge.
Mhm.
And from there, we'll see. But I feel like the fact that he's a fireman might give him a bit of a boost.
Yeah, I think he's going to go out around 7 or 6 personally. I think on his tribe, I think there's no way that they're going to cut him pre-merge. I think
Yeah,
even if Soka tribe is a disaster tribe, I think they're going to probably keep him a little bit.
yeah,
Uh, and yeah, as a first responder, I think a lot of people are going to be like not wanting to necessarily cut him early merge either, because there's always that kind of human compassion side that we got to account for as well. Um,
yeah.
so
And then
I
also
think
like
he's going to make it far, but around 7 or 6, they're going to have to be like, we can't let him get any further.
exactly. That's why I got him at 3 because it's kind of like that whole thing of when we're choosing a list and we have 9 contestants, like we take what our numbers are and like double it, and that's kind of like roughly what our placing is. So I
Mhm.
do have him at 7. I think one thing too, it's I could potentially, if they both make the merge, him and what's his name? Brandon might try and do the double threat shield strategy,
Yeah,
where
I
they
can
might
see that.
try. They'll be like, yeah, we're both, we're both, physical threats, so we have to look out for each other. And the thing is, like, physical threats aren't as threatening in modern Survivor to an extent where, you know, a lot of times people really respect gameplay, um, or jury management a lot more than like the actual challenges themselves.
Mhm.
So I think he does have a good shot of going far, not necessarily winning. But yeah, that's why I chose him for this
Nice.
one.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. I don't think he's necessarily winning. That's why he was going to be my third pick. But I do think he's going to be in the game long. I think he's going to have some entertaining like confessionals and stuff as well. Like I could see him bringing some chaos to the tribe as well. I could see him getting into some quarrels with maybe someone who's not pulling their weight in a challenge or something.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah. Okay, my next pick is going to be someone we've had very bad luck with 20-year-olds on recent Survivor. 20-year-olds don't really get a lot of respect out there. Even if they play a good game, they're still not really respected as playing a great game. So that's why my third pick is going to be Carson Garrett.
You know, that was the one contestant that I had a question mark next to. Like, I have no idea where he's going to place, but go. I want to hear your thoughts on
Yeah.
this guy.
Yeah, potentially the Zach Wurtenberger of the season.
With all the
um,
love, we love Zach.
yeah, we love Zach, and just because I'm saying that doesn't mean I think he's the first boots. Like I think he's just gonna be the small shot, like nerdy kind of guy who is going to be the out of his elements kind of situation, and if he can get in with his tribe, I think he can make it far. But um yeah, the fact that he's 20 just means that he's probably not going to win the game. That's just that's what we are in Survivor right now is
Yeah,
they're if someone's 40, they're not wanting to give a 20-year-old money. Like it's just
I mean, Marianne did
they
win.
don't want to feel like they lost to someone who is twice as young as them.
I
So yeah.
mean, I will say, my thing with him is he does want to play like Hibiki,
Mhm.
but little bit different. He does seem like he is very, very smart, and kind of like what I was saying earlier, he might be a big target because he does give off that very smart vibe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there's a YouTuber called Michael Reeves, and he looks identical to Michael Reeves. Like, if you guys are watching this, like, Google Michael Reeves, and you'll be like, "Oh my gosh, that is this guy's doppelganger." Um,
yeah,
but yeah, so
um,
I mean, he's just got nerd energy, and maybe if Kane also makes the merge, I like get Carson's one of the few people who would align with Kane. I think there's maybe like three or four people who are like really wanting to align with Kane, and I think Carson is one of
I don't think you're giving Kane enough credit,
them.
but I don't know. I'm very, very, like I said, I didn't know where to put Carson. I kind of like split the difference and I put him in the middle of my list at 10
Mhm.
because I feel like he understands, not coming off as big of a threat, things like that. And he's, learning about space stuff. That's very, very, challenging things. And you have to be very smart to, go into that.
Mhm.
Um, so I don't think it's going to be I think it's going to be hard for him to hide it. But I mean, threat equity mostly comes through how you perform. And I'm not sure how he's going to perform in certain things. And I'm not just talking about challenges, but with the social game, with the strategy and stuff, because part of like controlling your threat equity is showing that you're not a threat in those things, but still playing good.
Mhm.
He doesn't necessarily give me sleeper threat vibes.
No.
I mean, like, well, at least in this particular thing, where if I were to look at like the strategic threat, and I know this is cliche, going strategic threat, go with the guy with the glasses that's loves science.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean
it's
that's
just what I'm
he's
feeling.
the he what I've noticed in recent Survivor themes is they like to have one person who is a very physical person, like they're going to dominate physical challenges, like for the guys. Then they
Yeah,
like to have one person who's going to dominate strategically, the very smart person, and then they like to have one person who's what you call the all-arounder, the person who's pretty good at strength, pretty good at strategic, but not the master of one of them. And I mean, we could
yeah,
even like look through the this who we have on the cast. Like for instance, Bruce, I think is supposed to be your big kind of strong person who's supposed to win challenges, even though we kind of know he's might have some
doomed.
trouble. Um, Yam Yam is supposed to be your all around. He's got a good social, like you can tell he's going to be very social. He's going to have some strategic backing, but he's not great at any of these kind of things. Uh, Carson's your strategic person. Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, yeah, you could basically go through this entire thing and you literally can be like, that's exactly how they cast guys now. Is you got to fit one of those three molds. And if you don't fit one of those three molds, then you're probably then it's hard. You got to really lean into one. And yeah, I think Carson is definitely going to lean into that strategic element and kind of try to be, the one who's trying to help, some his tribe kind of get through the game so that they can kind of, maneuver their way around. But also, if this tribe doesn't want that, he's probably going out really early. Like it's one of the two.
yeah. Um, I don't know. I don't see him going out. Depends on how hard they play in the beginning, or
Mhm,
his tribe in general. I don't see him going out too early.
mhm,
I'd say the earliest he would go out is right before the teams disband and we're in Mergatory.
mhm,
Um, actually, did I have it? No, I had Yam Yam as the Mergatory boot. It being like 12 right before Jury.
mhm.
But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I had a question mark on the guy, so I did not know where to place him. But I feel like I don't think he is a clear first boot or anything like that. Or no, I think there's definitely some potential. Plus, he made the trailer. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to make it far because they'll
Yeah,
throw in a few red herrings, but there's something. I think that
yeah.
is a good choice.
Yeah, usually if you make
Um,
the trailer, 90% chance you're at least going to be like a player of the season, like someone who impacts the season and has a big part to play.
well, I mean, usually they have one person there
That's
that's
why I
like,
said 90% because there's one person who doesn't.
I'd say it's more 30% chance.
You think? I usually feel like when I look back to a trailer, there's that one pre-merge boot, and then everyone else is kind of in there. Maybe they'll have like a quick little like look at someone, but not really focus on them. Like who might also be a pre-merge, but I don't count those people. Like
But
like
no,
if
I
you
mean,
have like a straight up like a I'm talking to the camera. This is my confessional.
that's
That
what I
person,
mean.
that's what I'm counting as like playing a part in the trailer.
That's what I mean. I feel like I don't think he's going to be an early boot. I think the person that's going to be an early boot that was featured in the trailer, um, we'll get to that person later.
Mhm.
But actually, we've gotten most of the. I think the only person we didn't get yet is Matthew. Yeah, I don't think Matthew is going to make it to the merge for a couple reasons, but we'll get to him in a sec.
Mhm.
Well, not a sec. He's not going to be my next choice.
Yeah. You sure you
All
can?
right.
I mean, we have two Matthews technically.
Yeah, like Matthew with a beard.
Yeah.
Uh,
This one has a beard.
Daddy Matthew. Uh,
Yeah, I know you mean this one, but
or the barbershop owner,
yeah.
Matthew. Anywho, so my next pick, who I have as number three, on my list. They seem like someone who my zero vote finalist, but I don't think I want to choose them just yet. Um, and if I do, it's my fault for not. So I'm going to go with who I think is at my number four spot, fittingly for number four, and that is going to be Helen Lee.
Helen Lee. Oh, interesting.
I don't think she's going to win in the sense of like I think people are not going to underestimate her, but they're gonna be like, okay, we're looking at the end, and she's gonna be like an obvious kind of like non-obvious choice. It's like I said, it's not like it's how deep you look into it. I think she's the obvious, not obvious choice.
Hmm.
Not necessarily a sleeper threat, but someone who is a threat, but not like a giant threat, but not a sleeper threat. That's kind of like where I put her. If you can follow this little graph that I made of like what I consider your threat level, I feel
Oh,
like near the end, there she is going to be targeted. I will say that let me pull up her sheet. Do, 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 do. There. The fact that she respects people like Erica, Tina from season two, which other than honestly her first boot in All Stars, which All Stars was just a crazy game, and yeah, Tina could have potentially also been a two-time winner if she made it to the finale. Tina's a great player to like want to play as. She also put down Sophie. Um, I mean, like I'm mixed on Sophie. I feel like I respect her a little bit more after Winners at War, but she's still not one of my favorite winners.
mhm.
She's from Massachusetts. She is a product manager, and one thing that really stood out to me was under pet peeve. She put down people that put the TP under instead of over, and I agree with that.
Yeah, yeah, it's over. I mean, you're I don't know, a serial killer if you do it under. I don't
Oh,
know.
so Danny, Danny does it. Danny being my roommate that I shared a bathroom with. I
Well,
would put
watch
it
out for his
over.
dark
I would
secrets
flip it
then, because
over.
that is
But like, no, it just doesn't make sense because it's like, you're pulling from the bottom.
yeah.
So like the fact she
Yeah,
put that down,
I like the tear. I feel is a weird tear when it's coming from the bottom, whereas it's a lot more easy when it's over.
yeah, discussions on a Survivor Channel TP.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, that aside, I do think she's gonna do well in this game. Like, even if there is a bit of a pagonging on the Tika tribe, I know I keep saying this, and I know, funny enough, we keep choosing people from this tribe. Well, actually, this is all you.
Yeah,
And
I
so
have three.
far,
I know you.
you're all in on Tika, and
I'm
I know you're getting bruised.
honestly, it's
Like,
keeping up.
uh, 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 what's the? I need to know her name, but like, you're so far, you are. Oh yeah, Sarah Wade. Um, you may be all in on Tika,
Wait,
but
okay. I'm just letting you know because my next pick is Sarah Wade, so I'm just gonna put her onto my side. You can keep
oh
talking about
my
yours, but
god.
we're just gonna have it there. We'll talk about mine after. I keep talking about Helen Lee.
Okay, but I feel like if there is a Bagonging on there, we could be wrong. They could only have, the one medevac and that's it. Or maybe they only go twice.
Hmm.
But I feel like if anyone was to survive the Pagonging, it would be her.
Hmm.
Or I wouldn't say the Pagonging, the Oolong, because that's more appropriate to
Yeah,
or the Matsing, one
yeah.
of those
The
tribes.
decimation of the
Like she
tribe.
would survive. And probably Carson as well. So that's why I have her as number four, both in my boot order or my placement list, and as my fourth choice.
Got it. She was on my list as a number two, so I actually think she has a very high chance of doing well. But because I'm drafting backwards,
Yeah.
that means she's not the one I'm drafting. But yeah, I do think that she's got some good potential. I think she is going to be a good player. I do think that there's a little bit of I do think she could go in pre-merge. I think she could be a late pre-merge boots, like right before the merge kind of situation of
Yeah.
maybe she gets a little paranoid and starts to kind of isolate someone who she shouldn't be isolating maybe, and that might come back to bite her near the end because you got to have your alliances all together and everything. So I could see her having some struggle as they're about to get into it. But if she's able to not fall there, I think she's got a pretty long run after that.
Yeah. Um, I agree. I agree.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay.
So
Now, Sarah Wade, I'm picking another Tika member. I got
four
four of
in
them.
a row.
Damn.
Four in a row. Over half of your cast list, half of your draft is Tika.
Yeah, because they're all on the bottom. I don't think this tribe's doing well.
Joe, we get two drafts a year. I know you. We got two drafts a year, man.
And I'm going all in on the Tika. And
You know, other than
I know I'm getting
Sarah,
a
I
fifth
had at
person.
number
I
eight,
know I'm
so
gonna
you're
have
not
five by
necessarily
the end of this.
stealing anyone away from me. Usually, I don't say you usually do, because I feel like usually there are some people on the bottom that you pick up and stuff like that. But other than that, and she was at eight, I'm getting all the good players, so by all means, but I can't help but see the humor in this, and you know it. You know.
Yeah, that's mostly why I'm doing this is normally Ryan your draft looks terrible at the end of it. Regardless of if you win or not. It looks like a bad draft. Like so we're reversing it a little bit here. I'm picking all the people who are not winning.
42 and Winners at War. Well, I guess I'm just really good at when I get the first pick, I'm okay. But like 42 and Winners at War, I did not have buyer's remorse coming out of it.
Mhm.
41 I did. 39 I didn't know what was going on. Uh
Yeah. Yeah, well you got the first pick of the winner, so the rest of the
yeah,
draft didn't matter at that point.
yeah. But and then for 43, I mean I did solid, but I understand why you look at my list and I was like,
Yeah.
ooh,
Yeah, I feel like most of the time, like preseason, we'll look at the list and be like, "Oh man, I think Joe won the draft," but obviously doesn't mean preseason is the best indication of who's going to win that
no.
season. But I feel like at least preseason, I'm normally the one who looks better, but right now. I mean, I think you only have one person who's going home pre-merge, and that was your first pick. So,
I don't think I politely disagree, good sir.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I mean, yeah, I think Sarah Wade is going to basically she's kind of like Maddie, actually, in my opinion. I think she's going to play very similar to how we were talking about Maddie. I think she's going to be able to make it if she's able to get to the merge. She's going to probably fly under the radar, and if she's able to make off like that one or two big plays near the end, is someone who will end up winning the game. I saw someone comparing to her as like she's going to be the new Erica Kasupanen, which who knows, that could happen. Just
did she
making
put
a
her?
big play near the end.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah.
I I will say she is also another super fan of the show.
Mhm.
Kind of like similar to Maddie. So she does have that strategy level to her. I think this is your first good pick. Not saying anything with this. I'd say this one is probably your most secure pick.
Mhm.
Um, she is someone where I think she has a good mind for it. Um, she's not the one. I don't know if she put down Erica as one of her what was it, people she would play like, but I do think she does have a lot of good potential in this
Mhm.
game. I do think she would go out. in the middle. But then again, when I was making this list, I was like, can I see her go further? Yeah, I can. I think she definitely has good potential in this game.
Hmm. Yeah, sounds good.
All right. Um, Now who will I go with next? Huh. Because I have, you know what? Uh, I don't know when I'm gonna choose my 3 and 5, but I keep skipping over them. But for my number 5 pick, which is number 6 on who I think on where I think they're gonna place, I'm gonna go and take this guy from you. I'm gonna go with Matthew Blanket, or Blanket. Where is his name?
Blankenship,
I have
whatever.
terrible handwriting for Matt. Blankenship. One of the reasons is, I think he definitely has strong potential in this game. Let me pull up his sheet. Um, I think maybe one of his downside is just reading his bio that he might be a little bit too loyal.
Hmm.
Um, but he is, an engineer, which means they're smart. And I know like he wants to play like Yule, but also have that mixture of Marianne, which I'm like, I don't want to say they're night and day when it comes to like the playing style because Marianne did have strategy. It was just she was very, very cartoony. So
Hmm.
like, everyone's set was thrown off of her. Um, but I feel like kind of like we were talking about using the humor to kind of lower your threat equity. I can see that potential. I mean, if he gets into the right alliance, maybe that could work for him, and that could be his win condition. Um, but yeah, I'd say yeah. Those are pretty much my reasons for choosing him now.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to be pretty good pre-merge, but I could see him being the mergatory boots of him having a lot of the elements of what makes a strong player. I think people are going to see him as a strategic, physical, and a social player. Like I think they're going to see him having all three of those, which is a pretty good indicator of maybe taking them out right when he is available. So if he isn't a part of the winning team to be have immunity, I could see him having some trouble there. And then even once he gets in there, I think he's gonna probably have some struggling to kind of keep himself in the game unless his alliance is able to be in a good enough position to save him.
That's I don't know. I think he's gonna do well. I was kind of looking at the tribe chemistry. Other than one person in particular, I think I there's one person that I think there's no way they're making it to the merge. There's no way they're making a mergatory. I think they're the first boot of this tribe. But I feel like this team collectively has enough good players where I don't think they're gonna go as much to tribal as the other. I don't know if it's going to be 5 like it was in 43 or if they're going to have 6 before the mergatory.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like if he can survive 2 tribal councils, I do think he is going to be a threat in some capacity. But I can see him going out early merge.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I put him at 5, granted, I just made this riff. I didn't have too much time to like review it and all that, but I'm like, I don't want to overthink it too much. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for him. Yeah, I think yeah, I think he's gonna probably if I had to guess my ceiling for his game, it's gonna be like third or fourth jury member.
yeah,
Yeah. Okay. My next pick, um, athletes don't do very well on Survivor. They don't typically win the game, so that means I'm going to pick Brandon Cottom onto my tribe. Um, Yeah, I like picking my athletes. We've seen it almost every time an athlete comes, I end up drafting them at some points.
Yeah.
I like
I
rooting
don't
for
think he's a
them.
bad choice though, I will say.
He's a
Um,
bad choice, Ryan.
do what?
Wait, you said he's a bad choice?
I said I don't think he's a bad choice.
Oh, okay. I thought you said that you thought he was. Okay. Yeah, yeah, no. I think he's I mean, I don't know. I think the Danny McRae was a pretty good choice. I mean, I picked him as my first pick. I don't think he's a winner pick necessarily, but I do
Yeah.
think he's probably making it pretty far in the game. Um, I think he's going to get along actually very well with his Ratu tribe, and he's going to be very physical. So I don't think there's really any chance of him going on pre-merge.
Yeah.
Um, and then it really will depend on how he plays the merge. I think if he wins those first couple immunity challenges, I think he's then going to be in trouble. But if he's able to kind of wait and then go on an immunity run near final seven and onwards, then I think he has a good chance of actually doing something.
I agree. I had him down as like number five, mostly
Mhm,
because of like that. I feel like as we get closer to the end, as soon as like, well, obviously depending on who's left, because he is that meat shield.
mhm,
As soon as we get to that point where it's like, if whether it's like 7, 6, or 5 before he has a chance to build fire,
mhm.
um, I think that's the kind of point where you get rid of this kind of player where
Yeah,
he could potentially go on that run. So as
yeah.
soon as you see the chink in the armor, you just have to go all in on it.
Yeah. Also, my family would hate me if I didn't pick the Seattle Seahawk because I'm from Washington State. So we're like super big into the Seahawks. So I feel like I had to pick him. I picked him a little later because I figured you weren't gonna pick him early. Um so yeah, I figured this would be a good spot to pick him here.
Yeah, I think that's a solid choice. Like you said.
Yeah.
Um, now, see, you're not going to get all the bad ones.
Yeah, but I still don't think he's winning the game.
No, still,
We've gotten to the point though, like there's only a few people a season that I think have a 0% chance of winning. And then you start getting a little more like, here are the sleeper threats, the people who, here's their one avenue of winning the game as if they can do exactly this. And I think
yeah,
I'm at that point now where I'm picking the people who are like, they can only win in like these few scenarios, which could happen. Those scenarios could happen, but it's not like some other people who have multiple ways of winning a game.
yeah, yeah. Let me see if I put any extra notes on him specifically. Do 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 do. Um, other than oh yeah, I found this funny in his bio when it was like, "What is how are you going to win this game and stuff?" The last sentence he put down is, "I will not be denied." Which, come on,
That's
that's
funny.
hilarious.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I hope he has that kind of that humor on the season as well.
Yeah, I think he'll be friendly.
Yeah.
All right, next up for me. hmm, You know what? I think this person could potentially be a zero vote finalist. I could be biased because she is a TikToker. And so I am going to go with Jamie Lynn Ruiz um, from, I actually never heard of this place. It's like Ares Mesa,
Yeah, I never heard of it.
or if I don't think I saw a period, so I don't think it's Mesopotamia.
Yeah,
I'm not
maybe.
good at geography, guys. But I feel like she put down Erica, but she also put down Angelina. She's not the only one to do that. But when I see that, maybe that put the I when I saw Angelina, I'm like, maybe that put the idea of third place finalists in my head.
Mhm.
But I feel like she has I don't know, like she has a lot of hobbies that she listed, and there is merit to that. And so I'm like, maybe there is like, some of these challenges where, okay, that could be her niche and stuff like that. Um, I just don't know. When it comes to TikTok, I'm not a big fan of TikTok, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Right. I'm
Um,
the same way. I think it's the one of the worst social media apps out there.
I don't know. Like, I see benefits to it, but at the same time, it's one of those things where it's like, it's just not how I like getting like, media or information. I've tried
Mhm.
doing TikTok and I'm just like, no, no. Um, but that being said, um, I don't really have too much to say about her except I can see her going far. Who knows? She could be a huge like sleeper threat, and I might not know it, or like it sounds like I'm talking down about her, but I do see potential. But when you put down Angelina, it puts third zero votes finalist in my brain, so
Mhm.
that's why she's there.
I think she's going to have zero cohesion with her tribe. And if the Ratu tribe does go to tribal pre-merge, I think she's the boot. But the thing is, I think the Ratu tribe probably won't go to tribal. So I think she's got a good chance of just making it to the merge and then somehow scraping by at that point. But I do think if they do go once, I think she's the boots.
That's I do think it is possible. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
There's a reason why she wasn't number one. I
Yeah.
was like thinking of like, all right, who out of this list could I see as number three? That isn't like a, you know what? I didn't want full heavy hitters on my boot list, yes, because
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like,
of course. I mean, we're at the point we're not really drafting anyone who's winning, except for me. I'm starting to get to the people who I think have a chance now. You're at more of the point of, this person might make it far.
other than like two more people, uh, which means I only have eight more spots. Well, actually, I have two out of three spots. Other than two people, I don't really. So far, there is six people, no, five people that are pre-merged that you haven't chosen yet. So who knows? We'll see.
Mhm.
But we'll get there when we get there. So yeah.
Okay. Um, my next pick, I'm gonna pick. I need some Jewish mom energy now. I'm picking Heidi Laguerre's Greenblatt.
All right.
I think she's gonna be kind of like the Tiffany Seeley of the season. I think she's, Tiffany honestly went out way too early on her season. Even in that scenario, like if she doesn't go home there, she makes it very deep into the game. Like she's the person who does make it to like final five almost without even trying at that point. If she just made it past that one more tribal. Um,
Yeah.
so I think Heidi is going to be in a very similar situation of if she can just get past the early stages of the game, then she can make a deep run. But the early stages of the game is going to be her toughest part to deal with, I think.
I can see that. Let me see what notes I had on her. Because I did put her down pre-jury.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah. Um, she put both Sandra and Angelina down
Mhm.
as people she wants to play like.
Yeah,
And
she's not going to control the game. Like it's
no,
very simple. She's not controlling the game, um, but she has. I think she's someone who could make it very far if she's just able to get past like the first jury member.
if the stars align.
Yeah, 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 and
Um,
and she ends up being up against two people who play terrible games. Then maybe she somehow walks out with a win.
okay, okay. All right. Next up, I don't know if I want to go with my number nine or my number 11.
You want Bruce?
No, I, you know,
Come on,
you are
he's lonely
so
over there.
Tika
He's the
strong.
last Tika
I,
member.
you're so Tika strong. I feel guilty for even taking Helen, to be
Yeah,
honest.
honestly, I kind of wish you didn't, so I could have all Tika. It
Not this.
honestly, how funny would it be if like Helen is the only person voted out on the Tika tribe?
I can take the I can take the joke if that is the case. Um, who do I not? Because you have someone from each tribe.
Yeah.
No. Um, actually, no. Both. Oh, actually, you do. My bad. So that's not gonna happen to me where I have six people from one.
Yeah, we got three guys, three girls. We've honestly been doing guy, girl every time. I haven't been
The
doing
part
that
of
on
that
purpose.
wants me to break that pattern a little bit. But she is at my number 9 spot. So, you know what? I'm going to choose her. It's going to be Clara Rapson.
Okay.
Um, she got a couple points for being, a fan of musical theater. She is from the Bronx. That's a tough area. She's a tech investor, and she wants to be very, very loyal, but she also she does seem like she wants to be a puppet master a little bit and
Mhm.
have not necessarily meat shield, but like do the sleeper threat thing. So that's kind of like why I was looking at her. I'm not sure how far she would actually go because I can see them targeting her relatively early, depending on how the chips lie and whatnot. But I do see some potential.
Mhm.
Like I'm not against her at all. Like I put her on the top half, granted number 9, but the top half of my list. So I do see some potential there.
Yeah, I actually think she's going to be a very strong player, but be one of those strong players that gets taken out mid merge by
Yeah.
someone who ends up either winning or becomes the next big threat that the winner ends up taking out. Like she's one of those kind of people who is going to probably be very dominant pre merge, very dominant the first tribal and the double tribal, and then probably be targeted at eighth. I'm guessing.
Okay. Yeah, that was kind of like my assessment too. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. My next person, I know you are down on them. Honestly, this person was someone who I was thinking of being a winner pick before a lot of things came out. And that is the other Matthew Grinstead Mail, who got a very big promo package right after 43. He was like the person that we immediately learned about in
Yeah.
43 was this guy.
Hold on,
Like
I'm writing
we
down.
immediately learned his story. We see him, climbing a rock and then falling off. Um, now,
Right
I
when he says he
personally
breaks his
don't think
arm
that I
too.
think that
And
is
I think
the
he
red
actually
herring.
does.
What?
He says something about because I watched this trailer a bunch. He was like, even if I have to do it with one arm, I think
Mhm.
he actually breaks his arm.
Yeah, I think I think he could get injured. And honestly, I think that's good for him because he is going to be someone who will be looked at as a physical player down the line. And similar to how Tyson injured his arm, I think getting injured could very well benefit him because now, if he makes it to that merge area, they're not going to immediately target him because he's a big physical threat anymore. They might not look at him as a threat for a very long time.
Yeah, I he did get a lot of screen time in the trailer. I think his downfall will be he is very much a family man. And I kind of got that by looking at his bio and everything.
Mhm.
And even in the trailer where, he's like, we got to stick together. If this doesn't bond us, I don't know what will. Like
Mhm.
he does seem like, really about togetherness. And I think that is going to bite him in the butt. Other than like also like maybe being a medevac.
Mhm. Yeah, I really do think that that's the red herring. Like they're trying to really show that this is going to be a dangerous season. But I don't think that one's the medevac. I think we've already talked about who we kind of think is going to be, and I think there's going to be maybe someone else way further down the line that they're not showing us anything about that person yet.
Maybe.
Like that's my feeling of what's going to happen.
I think I don't know because if I'm using the boat strategy,
The boat strategy.
I did not see him in the boat.
Yeah.
So,
Well, also that boat, people go on boat rides all the time. Like people will just go on a boat because there's something that's going on with the game or whatever. So who knows?
that is true.
Yeah.
And I did take that into consideration, but I was also like, what if? And
Yeah.
with that arm thing, there's a reason why those two Ratu people I haven't chosen yet. And that's kind of why I know like it could be all misdirection. Like we said, we are very much dissecting a lot of this.
Yeah.
But with that being said, like I couldn't bring myself to like choose him early on. I think he does look like a fun contestant. I think he's gonna be very likable. Even in the first 30 minutes or 3 minutes, he's like, I don't know. I think I'm too nervous to be scared. and, it was a funny moment.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. Like, obviously, I mean, as long as he's out there, I think he's going to be, throwing out a lot of jokes. I think he's going to be playing as hard as he can, as well. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I think he's gonna do very well, despite your boat theory.
Okay. No, no. I mean, like, if I see more of this guy, I think he's gonna be really cool. Um, but I don't know. I feel like he might be the big red herring out of everyone.
Yeah.
All right, so this is an interesting one because when I choose this person, then you technically choose kind of the last person because once I choose my person, then you're presented with an opportunity because I'm going to choose whoever you don't choose to leave you with Bruce.
Uh-huh.
So, like, this is the last real choice I have. Um, that being said, I have this person as 11 because I think they definitely have potential. Um, but I feel like they're going to be a big threat down the line. Hold on, I'm still writing stuff. I got sorry. I'm going to go with Dr. Joshua Wilder.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. I'm actually surprised he didn't get drafted till all the way here. I
Here's the
understand he's
thing.
going to be a big threat, but still.
I think that's why, because when I was making my list, I'm like, all right, I definitely see this man targeted right at the merge.
Mhm.
Because I feel like there's so many things that makes him a likable, b he's a doctor, so he's
Yeah,
smart as well. And
yeah,
also, one thing that really stood out to me in his bio, when he put down his hobbies, he loves doing obstacle course, so he's going to be a huge
yeah.
asset
Oh
to
yeah,
his team
he's a triple threat player. He's social, strategic, and physical. Like he's going to be good at like he is that tribe's all rounder. Like how I was saying, the guys are kind of divided up. He's that tribe's just he's kind of good at a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up where if there was any standout notes there that I had. Yes, um, currently in Atlanta. Sounds like he's um, and him being a doctor and stuff. There was also something where he put down in there, like talking 20 minutes to people, to patients and stuff on how to move forward. And also like to be a doctor, especially when you're giving diagnosis and things going forward, you need really good bedside manners. And so I feel like he knows how to like talk to people and also reassure them too.
Mhm.
Doctor is one of the hardest professions you can have. I would put him higher on the list, but the one thing that kept preventing me was that I think he's too obvious of a threat.
Mhm.
Like that, the triple threat. That is
Yeah.
the only if we were both going after our number, or if you were going for your top picks and stuff like that, I'm pretty sure, I might have grabbed him a little bit earlier. Or you would have grabbed him.
Yeah,
There was the other.
he is number 3 on my list.
Yeah. Um, because I think he is probably one of the best going into this. It's just because he is, I think he's going to be such a big threat.
Mhm.
I am rooting for him. Um, yeah, I would say like in my like favorites of the season, definitely top five, probably top three. Um, but yeah, that's where I stand because
Okay.
I think he's going to be really, really good, but I think
Yeah.
a really big
Yeah.
target.
Yeah, there's at least going to be, I think, 2 or 3 episodes where I think he's going to kind of dominate the either social or strategic game to some degree. That's going to, end up biting him in the butt. But I think he's definitely going to be a powerhouse player.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, now obviously my choice is now between Lauren or Franny. Um, and one of these is actually my winner pick, the person who I think is winning the game. So
I'm
I'm going
guessing
to
you
draft
think
that
it's
person.
Franny.
I'm drafting Lauren.
Whoa, she wasn't on the boat, so okay, I want to hear this.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just getting the vibes from her, especially with her starting tribe. I think she's going to be able to get in really good with Brandon. I think Brandon and Matthew are going to get in really good. I think she's going to be able to have good connections with pretty much everyone on her tribe, except for, except for Kane. I know this is coming back to my dislike of how I think he's going to do, but I think she's going to be able to vibe with a lot of people on the season, especially. And I just don't really see her getting targeted early. I'm kind of just not listening to your boat theory. I understand. Like I just don't really.
Well, I have something else to say,
Uh,
but I'll let you continue talking about her.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I think she's going to also be one of the females who can be pretty good in physical challenges as well. I think she's going to be the all around kind of threat, but people aren't going to know that. And I think that's going to be the her strength is that people aren't going to know how good of a player she is until it's too late.
I think her biggest downfall, yes, I have my boat theory, but I think she's also very, very, I was just looking at everything and I feel like she's too trusting.
Mm.
Um,
I don't know. Modern Survivor, people are like just wanting to be super trusted. Like everyone's wanting to be trusting nowadays because um we we've seen now so many people who have tried to backstab and it blows up in their face. So now everyone in Modern Survivor is almost like afraid to backstab because now, and so now there's only like a couple people doing it. And those are the couple people who blow up in their face because everyone else is trying to be trusting. Um,
yeah,
and the fact that you just said trusting, Matthew wants to be loyal. He wants people to trust with. Like those two are probably going to bond. They're going to want to be working together. They're going to want to be loyal to each other.
but they're the
Um,
only two not on the boat.
what if those two are the ones going to a different place and so the other four are on a boat ride somewhere else?
I'd like to think if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I will accept it.
Yeah, okay. Oh, well, once Kane gets voted out and the boat theory goes blows up in your face, then
I
we'll
don't
figure
think
it
I'm rooting for my D&D brother in arms.
out. Okay. Well, yeah, I did have Lauren as my number one. I think that she's going to, yeah, I think she's going to not be seen as a big threat, but should be seen as a big threat.
Okay. I will say this. I'm also glad that despite your strategy of selecting people, that you did end up with your number one winner pick.
Yep.
Um,
I'm very surprised.
I don't know, like that's the thing. Like we both read into different. We both looked at our winner pick and was like, "Oh yeah," and then the other one's like, "Really?" Uh,
Yeah, yeah, we've had very different opinions on this cast.
yeah, but that's because it's so hard to read this one. I
Yeah,
feel. All right. So that being said, we got Franny, we got Bruce.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just make it very clear what's happening.
So other than the medevac thing, I think the person that is guaranteed to be the first boot on their respective tribe is Franny.
Mhm,
Because she looks like she wants to play way too hard in the beginning.
mhm.
And when I say that, she's like, she wants an alliance member that she can talk about every possible outcome. And if she's coming in with that kind of energy, some people are like, think she's going to be paranoid or overplaying, and that's going to be her downfall.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to find someone who's willing to do that with you, especially early on in the game. Um, Jesse and Cody managed to do it, but even then, it wasn't right off the bat they were necessarily coming in and giving all the strategy talks. That kind of developed a little bit through
Yeah.
after they voted out a few people. Then they started kind of working together. So if she comes in first tribal council and is already trying to be overplaying, yeah, she could easily go out. I mean, we saw Owen Knight last season. He wanted to do what Tranning's doing here, but he at least had the self-awareness to realize the tribe didn't want that.
Yeah. Also, they only went to tribal council one prior to that, but
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
but
know.
if Owen did, I think what Franny did, I think Owen's the first boot of that season. I mean, we already saw he was the secondary option of that tribal. So if he played as much as Franny is, seems like she's wanting to do like all these kind of crazy things and be revealing all of her strategy to someone. I think that's something that would blow up in someone's face on a first tribal.
Yeah. Yeah. For players that she said she was going to want to play as, she did that put down Gabby
Mhm,
from David versus Goliath, which I'm like, okay, that's a not a bad choice at all. I feel that's an interesting because we don't see a lot of Gabby's
mhm.
choices. And then she
Yeah,
put Aubrey, and then she put Sophie Clark, and I'm like, okay, I see where her headspace is at.
yeah.
And with all of that, I was like, if she's given the opportunity, then maybe. But I feel like out of everyone here, as soon as Soka goes to tribal council, I feel like because she's going to be playing super, super hard, she will be targeted and voted off.
Yeah, she's, I think, going to come into the game as if Kellen from Ghost Island came into the game if she played again. Kellen, her thing was, she didn't want to like she had trouble playing the game basically. She couldn't actively do stuff. She had like that mental block that kept her from trying to make any big moves. And now Kellen came into the game again. I think she would be playing very aggressively, very quickly because she's trying to do the opposite of what she did last time. And I think Franny is going to do that. But that's not, I think that's the wrong solution to Kellen's problem.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. Because now that you bring up Kellen, she does have a lot of similarities. Like even the
Mhm.
mansplaining things under pet peeves. I'm like, yep, that was in Kellen's
Yep.
thing. So potentially, yeah, Kellen 2.0. I mean, I liked Kellen.
Yeah.
I thought she was like a highlight of that season, other than like Dom and Wendell. And I'd say
Mhm.
like other than those two, the people that like stood out to me, she was one of them.
Mhm.
So if I'm wrong and I have like another Gabler situation where she actually makes it far, I welcome it.
Yeah.
I don't mind being proven wrong if it makes for good entertainment or if it's better in the long run. So we'll see. We'll see.
Mhm. Yeah, we will see. And now we'll do a quick little explain. I don't think we should go in too much detail on my last pick here, also. But Bruce, we kind of know is going to in the first episode get either medevac or at least is going to have medical attention on him, which is just not a good sign for any player. He might be fine. There's a chance that this is just going to be like he had one little accident that they can kind of patch him up real quick and he'll be fine. Like there is that chance, but we just in our heart of hearts can't draft him any higher than a last
Yeah.
place because of it.
I mean, it was tough too. Like, because like when I said, fellas, you can ask my roommate. I was going on the big TV, pausing to make sure it was the one person, and then I rewatched it to make sure. Like, okay, are we see how much of Bruce are we actually seeing?
Mhm.
And it just doesn't look that good
Yeah,
because he doesn't have that much screen time on there. He's
yeah,
other than what that moment was, if that is him, which it looks like it is, I'm like 99% sure it's him.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
There's a chance Bruce goes home with zero confessionals on the season.
yeah, but there was only two other things. It was him when he's, coming off the boat, like, clean, not much on him, and then showing him all dirtied up. And then I do think in the trailer, so I lied, third shot was him going down like this, and he was
Mhm.
all muddied. And the first challenge looks like mud is involved.
Yeah,
So he may be gone within the first 15 minutes of
yeah,
the
which
show.
would be crazy. I mean, if that happens, could we look at a captain season of Bruce Jackson and Pat Cusack, the three medevacs from from Who Are First Boots?
Well, also, who was the one girl from Worlds Apart?
Oh,
Because
I
she
know who you're
also,
talking about. Courtney Moon.
yeah, Courtney Moon, um, also kind of fell into that same boat.
Hmm.
No pun intended, obviously. That was just like turn a phrase, and then I realized with Patrick, that's my bad.
Hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's tough because, like, obviously, we don't want medevacs. They happen because Survivor, they're out in the elements and accidents happen just in life in general. And, it's kind of hard when we're making a boot list or a draft to like really avoid that.
Hmm.
I know my fault was not looking into things, and that's why I got Max or Jackson Fox on my tribe. Uh, that was my boo boo.
Yeah, I was really hoping you didn't look into it this time and you draft Bruce.
Obviously, I was going to learn from my mistakes.
I don't know. It could have been funny.
It would have been funny, but no.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. Okay. Well,
but yeah.
this is our try. This is our teams now.
Oh
For
wait, let's talk. I do want to talk about Bruce a little bit other than his medevac because
okay.
like I want to give him something. He does seem like a very, very nice guy, kind of
Mhm.
like similar to Matthew, a family man. He talked about his kids and wife a lot in his bio.
Mhm.
Where is this thing?
Yeah.
Brucey,
I
where
do
are
think he's supposed to be kind of the big physical powerhouse on this tribe because the other two guys are Yam Yam and Carson, who I'm sure they're fine in challenges, but I don't
yeah,
imagine them being, say, a Danny Massa or a Brandon Cottom. Like the like each tribe has someone like that, and Yam Yam and Carson aren't exactly built like them.
yeah.
I think Bruce is supposed to be their workhorse in terms of physical strength.
I will say this. He is an insurance agent. So he does understand risk factors and stuff like that. And he wants to align with people that want to play the game, but treats it as a game, like no hard feelings and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Um, and yes, he does look like he's physically good and capable of it. I'm not sure what's going to happen
Mhm.
in that um,
Yeah.
first challenge, whether it's dehydration, if it's pre-existing thing coming out of there that when he got his physical and stuff that they didn't find.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I'm not
I don't
sure.
know.
We'll definitely see. I mean, a lot of times the first 15 minutes, I think sometimes I'll kind of just be like I'll be paying attention obviously, but I won't be super like we're kind of still in just like the feeling out phase of everyone. I'm going to be probably a lot more paying attention because I know something big's probably going to happen. So I'm going to be a lot more kind of attentive to that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty.
So yeah, that's our. This is now our teams. I will say, you do have people who I would have drafted if I did it differently. So I got some of the people who I would have drafted still, but definitely a different mix than if I did it normally.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bold strategy. I call this the Gabler effect.
Yeah. If this works, if I picked Yam Yam and he wins because I've now just flipped my list of where I just basically I just rated everyone's by their chances of winning. And if Yam Yam, who I really thought has 0% chance, if he comes out on top, the Gabler effect is modern survivor.
Yeah. I mean, for according to you, I went by the Gabler effect.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
honestly, you have people who I would have not thought would win. Honestly, I like there's very few people on this season who I think are like, yeah, that person's got like a really good chance of winning this game.
I'd say it's tough. And especially with Modern Survivor, where big threats and stuff and threat equity is such a, I'd say more than ever, threat equity is such a big thing in Modern Survivor that it's really, really tough to choose someone that is coming in with a big threat
Mhm.
mentality.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that does it here. But guess what, guys? Don't turn off your the video yet because we have for you our 44 prediction Brantsteele that we are going to do right now. We're using the heroes versus healers versus hustlers, and because this is our kind of go-to for our Brantsteele predictions simulator now, and we don't need to go into everyone's detail because we've already done it. You've already seen it. You've already
Wait, this
seen
is a
who.
surprise to me. Hold on, dude. Let me
Wait,
grab
wait,
my
you
chart.
didn't. I told you this before.
I thought we were gonna do this and then later on do.
No, I said, are you okay with doing the draft and the Brantsteele?
Are we at least doing this in two parts?
This is the part of this. Yeah.
So like the draft is gonna be one episode and this is gonna be the second.
This is going right before the episode. We are currently in the Brantsteele.
Okay. Let me can we pause for a break?
Sure.
Because I at least want to let my grandma know because she tried calling me. Today's been busy,
Yeah, yeah,
but
no worries. Okay, welcome back, and we are here with the Brantsteele for real this time.
yeah. And as you guys probably guessed, and as you're seeing this, it is with their actual tribe. So for those who haven't seen one of our Brand Steel predictions, basically we let Brand Steel give us their thoughts on how they think things are going to play out.
Hmm. Yeah,
Sometimes they're
usually
terribly.
nothing at all close to what actually happened. But I will say, I mean, our 41 was somewhat. I feel it got. I think a lot of the pre-merge people went home pre-merge.
Yeah.
It was somewhat close. But yeah, it's Brand Steel being Brand Steel. So yeah, we can just hop right on into this.
All right.
Okay. Okay, and in the opening twist, the Soka tribe wins reward. They win a fire making kits, and the Ratu tribe wins reward. They win flints.
Nice, nice.
That doesn't go down. I'm trying to make it so that it goes away the zoom, but it's refusing to go away.
That's weird.
Okay, well, Claire finds a secret advantage. This is a super idol that can be played after the votes are read. Um, it can only be played at the first tribal council, and if another tribe loses, it will be passed on to someone else. Okay,
No.
Ratu tribe, nothing there. Claire's got the idol. Nothing going on at Tika. Nothing. No alliances happening.
No.
And the Soka tribe wins immunity, and the Ratu tribe wins immunity.
Yep. So purple tribe's going.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'm gonna stop the share real quick and then reshare it because I think that might be what's causing it to not want to properly show. There it goes.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, Soka tribe and the Ratu tribe win immunity, and no events occurring on the Ratu tribe. Claire is impressing the rest of the team. People are impressed that she's got that idol.
Yep. She's like,
That's,
I don't need it anyway. It's not for me.
yeah,
So
yeah. Um, Carson finds the Tika tribe hidden immunity idol.
nice.
Okay. Carolyn and Yam Yam bond strongly. Carolyn and Carson have a minor disagreement. Carson and Sarah find something in common.
All right. We got
And
an
a new
alliance.
alliance forms between Bruce, Carolyn, and Yam Yam.
Well, we have one or two idols played.
Yeah. Carson is injured but gets treated and can stay in the game. Is this them saying Carson is actually going to get injured?
Uh, it's possible further down the line. I see him in that wide shot in the trailer, you know.
Yeah. Wow,
Uh,
that's crazy. Okay. Okay. Who is going home? We know Bruce, Carolyn, and Yam Yam are definitely going to work together here. Carson has an idol. He could work with Helen and Sarah to try to maybe idol out one of the other three.
but that also depends who Claire gave the idol to, the
Yeah,
one-time
true.
idol. So I'd say this is it's up in the air, and that's even if Carson plays his idol.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see here then.
Oh,
Okay. Oh,
well,
Claire's
you
giving
know,
the idol to Carson. So Carson's definitely safe.
yeah.
First vote goes to Helen. Second vote goes to Carson. Third vote goes to Helen. Fourth vote goes to Helen. And Helen is unanimously voted out.
Well, damn.
That one person on the Tika tribe that you chose. Yeah, just like that. Okay, well, that means that the Bruce, Yam Yam, and Carolyn alliance might be running the Tika tribe, unless Carson can get a big idol play against them.
Or at least make it into the tribe swap.
Yeah. And Matt finds the Soka tribe hidden immunity idol.
Nice.
Good on Matt. Good on Matt's. Okay, immunity. The Ratu tribe wins immunity, and the Soka tribe wins immunity.
It's it looks like Brantsteele has the same idea that I have.
Yeah.
Purple team's gonna snowball.
Well, now I'm definitely losing someone now. Okay. Danny and Josh have a minor disagreement. Franny worked hard at camp and becomes tired. That's all that's going on there. Bruce has a major meltdown. Oh, the alliance dissolves. And
Oh,
then a
geez.
new alliance forms between Carson and Sarah.
Alrighty. Does this look good for Bruce?
I think it's either Bruce or Carolyn, I think, that are just going to get targeted here.
Let's see.
Because we did see Carolyn and Carson have that minor disagreement back in the previous episode. So
Yeah.
Carson might want to target her. No one stands. First vote goes to Bruce. Second vote goes to Bruce. Third vote goes to Carolyn. And Bruce
Well,
is voted out unanimously. Man, if only they had the shot in the dark in our Brantsteeles, yeah, and maybe some of these ones who are getting unanimously voted out could
yeah,
try to do something.
that'll be it. That'll be interesting once Brantsteele does that.
It's been so long since they've made a new Survivor that's not Australian, like updating or making a new one. Like they haven't done a Winners at War one yet, which I'm still like, come on.
I mean, like I feel like that one was Winners at War might be a bit more complex with the fire tokens to
Mhm.
program as opposed to 41, 42, or 43. But, that being said,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are now looking at the Tika tribe already down to four. And Lauren, my winner pick, finds the hidden immunity idol.
Oh, no. But will she appear on the boat?
Yeah, the real question is where is
The
this boat?
boat, I'm telling you now, the boat is going. Sorry, I was looking for my drink.
Yeah, go for it.
I wore pants today.
Well, that's good.
For the sake of me getting up to get the drink, it's very good.
Yep.
All
Uh,
right.
okay. So Carson doing pretty good over here yet, but will they manage to not go to tribal? They do. Tika tribe
Yeah.
wins immunity. They also win three hens and a rooster. And the Soka tribe wins immunity. They also win a dozen eggs.
Nice. The boat.
The boat tribe. I guess we can just call them the boat tribe. Brandon and Kane have a small fight.
Come on. Work together. Fuck.
Franny is impressing the rest of the team. And Danny rests at camp to restore his energy. They need him to be there for their muscle.
Exactly.
Carolyn and Yam Yam find something in common.
Okay.
Carson and Sarah have a minor disagreement. Ooh.
Do they break up?
No, but a new alliance forms between Carolyn and Yam Yam.
Well, I hope so because well, to their knowledge, they don't know that there's going to be a tribe swap or whatever, so
Yeah.
they kind of have to work together.
Yeah. This is
Otherwise,
now just a tribe of two duos.
yeah.
Okay. I'm saying Kane goes home.
I'm saying Lauren. It's the boat. Lauren or Matthew. The boat
I'm
shot.
just saying, I really do like if King goes home. I totally see him as like the third or fourth boost of the season. So this would in my mind make sense. Lauren uses the hidden immunity idol. First vote goes to Lauren, does not count. Second vote goes to Lauren, does not count. Third vote goes to Lauren, does not count. Fourth vote goes to Maddie. And
Okay.
Maddie is idled out by Lauren.
But but the boat.
But the boat. So let's see. So Kane, Maddie, and Matthew voted Lauren. Brandon, Jamie, and Lauren voted Maddie.
Well, that's not good for
Yeah, Kane and
that's not good.
Matthew.
Yep.
Okay, on to the twists. The new Ratu tribe is Brandon, Carson, Kane, Lauren, and Yam Yam.
That's a little interesting.
Yeah. The new Soka tribe is Carolyn, Danny, Franny, Heidi, and Jamie.
Danny and Franny. I like it.
Yeah, Danny, Franny, Heidi, and Jamie. They're all with the E ending.
E.
um, Tika is Claire, Josh, Matt, Matthew, and Sarah.
So I can just see the Soka just divide and conquer on both of these tribes because it's like, well, it's like two strangers coming together. And Soka hasn't been to tribal council, so they don't really have any like beef with anyone, and I don't think there's any like real alliances on that tribe.
Yeah, this is like best case scenario for Soka is they really can if they want to just guarantee themselves all emerge if they
Yeah.
don't turn on each other.
And for the Ratu tribe, they have something a little bit, I'd say, very playable. Where yes, the original Ratu could vote off Carson and Yam Yam, but
Mhm.
like Carson and Yam Yam might want to be like, oh hey, we don't like each other, and then Kane is kind of an outsider of the original Ratu, so like I feel this one is pretty playable.
Yeah, I can see that going a lot of ways. I could definitely see Yam Yam and Carson still going at it and not trying to just sway over, say Kane. Okay, nothing there, nothing there, and also nothing there. Let's see who wins reward. The Soka tribe wins reward. They win peanut butter, jelly, bread, and a bags of potato chips. And Jamie finds a secret advantage hidden in the potato chips. This is a vote blocker. So she can block one player's votes at the next tribal council. And the Tika tribe wins immunity. And the Ratu tribe wins immunity.
Kane's alive.
Kane is still in it.
Kane's got this.
Carson and Yam Yam bond slightly.
They kind of have to.
Yeah. They are deciding to stick together, it looks like. Danny and Franny bond slightly. I want to say
Hashtag
Danny
Danny
and Franny.
Franny.
Let's have that duo. I'm down for it.
I'm pretty sure someone in production was like, it'd be funny if we had Danny and Franny on the same team.
It sounds like a 70s sitcom, like cheesy
Danny and Franny.
sitcom.
Yeah,
Danny and Franny. Okay. So the Soka tribe.
it's really tough to say. Other than Danny and Franny bonding, there's not too
Yeah.
much else to go
Yeah,
off of.
could Jamie use that vote blocker against Danny or Franny, work with Carolyn, create a rock draw scenario? like there's I do think Soga's probably teaming up here still. So that might honestly be their only way of potentially getting out of it, or just throwing the other one on under the bus and hope that you don't go again.
Yeah, I'd say that's the thing. I mean, like if it's 3-2 instead of a guaranteed elimination, you're
Mhm.
guaranteed. It would be like a 1-3 shot that you might go home if it goes to rocks. I don't know. It's definitely risky because you're leaving it up to chance.
Yeah, but also if you just try to take out the other person, like we still have a few more tribal councils, like they'll just
Yeah.
take you out if you go again. So it's do you want to make an aggressive offensive move here, or do you want to try to play defensive, knowing that there's a good chance that you get screwed by doing it?
Well, I mean, like either way, you're screwed. I mean, like there's no
Do you
alliance that
want to
we
take the
don't
risk
know.
now, or do you want to hope that you guys win all of the immunities from here on out? That's
Isn't
their
the vote blocker only for this episode?
Yeah, it's only for this episode, so they have to use it now.
Well, I mean, like when there's only 5 people, I'd say it's tough to like. I'd say defensive aggressively, they're one and the same. You can only use it one way because like each vote
Well,
is
what you could
too
use if
important.
okay, so if you're Jamie in this situation and you wanted to play defensively, you would vote block Carolyn. That way, Danny, Franny, and Heidi know that you're on with them, and you just pile the votes onto Carolyn, and then bam, she's out. Now you're left here with the last three tribal councils, and you're hoping that you just don't go. That's the defensive move because you're safe this time, but you're not making a play to progress yourself in the tribe. Now, if you vote block Danny or Franny here and go into rocks, yes, you are going. You're by be that's an aggressive move because you're putting yourself at risk right now. But if it pays off, you're taking out one of the majority players, and now suddenly you can go into the rest of the pre-merge in a more of a power position. Whereas if you do the other way, you're going in there as the clear fourth. So
I'd say
it's
that's assuming that Carolyn is the actual target because it's
well,
like whomever they target and whomever is targeting them.
yeah, but that would be her way of at least trying to give proof, like, hey, look at this, I'm with you guys. Whereas Carolyn would, who knows what she's necessarily going to do. She becomes this weird variable where now they're going to look at it as, do we want to take out the person who's trying to help us right now, or do we take out the person who we have no idea?
I don't know. I feel like
Yeah.
either way, you're at the bottom four. Um,
Not if the rocks work out and you and Danny, Franny, or Heidi go home.
no, but I mean, like, if she goes with the defensive, like, I mean, like, you're at
Yeah.
four at that point.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying is that's the defensive because it saves you this round, but because you're playing non-aggressively, you're not making any stride in moving forward in the game. You're really just protecting yourself now. You're it's self-preservation. Self-preservation is the biggest thing of defensive play you can do in Survivor, and that's what this would be.
I don't know. I'd say it's throwing it away basically because you can say that you're not going to use your thing on Carolyn, but that doesn't mean that they're going to vote Carolyn.
Yeah. Well, of course, there's always the like, what if you do that? But assuming you're in the three-person here, who would you vote out? Would you vote out the person who is wanting to play with you, or the person who potentially could be trying to mastermind your demise? Like, but you don't know that what her motives are because she gets vote blocked in that scenario. So you have to then decide which one's more valuable: the person who wanted to work with me, or the person who I don't know.
You make a solid point.
Yeah. Okay. Danny has lost his vote at this tribal council. Okay, first vote goes to Jamie. Second vote goes to Danny. Third vote goes to Jamie. And Jamie is voted out. So yeah,
Oh,
look at
fuck.
that. That's yeah, Carolyn did not even care about trying to go to rocks there.
Well, damn. Which
Yeah,
is funny
Carolyn.
because she loves rocks.
I know, right?
You're like, oh,
She's
free
really
rock,
jumping for joy.
free rock.
Oh, all of that strategy talk didn't matter as
No,
Jamie just goes home there. Okay. And nothing going on here. Okay, reward challenge. Ratu tribe wins reward. They win iced coffee, pastries, and coffee and tea brewing supplies. And the
mm,
Soka tribe wins reward. They win iced coffee. I know this is one of your favorite rewards to win, as you're the
always,
coffee lover.
always.
And the Tika tribe wins immunity. And the Soka tribe wins immunity. That means Kane's tribe will be going.
Don't worry. The Kane dynasty will reign. The Kane dynasty.
And Carson finds the Ratu tribe hidden immunity idol.
Good on
He's
him.
got two
Yeah,
idols in his pocket now. Had three if you count the super idol he had for first tribal. So,
he's the idol king.
yep. Brandon is impressing the rest of the team. That's that. A new alliance formed between Danny and Franny. They've made it official.
Nice.
And he rests at camp to restore his energy. He is just resting at camp and being friends with Franny.
Yep.
Claire and Sarah have a small fight.
It has a lasting impact.
Yeah, that's a major one right there. Okay, does Carson just play both idols, one on him and one on the Yam Yam, and say, "Hey guys, you guys got to go home. We're not going."
I mean, if they were guaranteed to go, then make a lot of sense. But like I said, this one was pretty playable. So
Mhm.
I can see that happening. I don't necessarily think that's a bad move.
Yeah. Lauren has
Uh,
also had a successful idol play. So if that's maybe a story that's going around, I could see maybe they're afraid of Lauren, making more moves as the game progresses. So maybe you try to take out Lauren here.
Maybe.
Okay.
All right, on one way to find out.
First vote goes to Lauren. Second vote goes to Brandon. Third vote goes to Lauren. And Lauren is unanimously voted out.
The Kane Dynasty.
Wow. And there goes my winner pick.
Well, mine reigns.
Okay. Let's see if the Tika tribe goes next. Then it'll be an even split going into the last tribal before the merge. Okay. Nothing going on, nothing. Okay. Reward. The Soka tribe wins reward. They win 10 pizzas and soft drinks. And the Ratu tribe wins reward. They win one pizza.
Nice.
And the Soka tribe wins
Well,
immunity. And the Ratu tribe wins immunity. So yes, the Tika tribe will go. We're gonna have some even Steven stuff going on. Okay, no events occurred. They're just topping in.
all right. So does the yellow or no, well, they're green in the show,
Yeah,
but
I think they're taking out Sarah here personally because Sarah had that fight with Claire.
that makes sense.
Yeah. First vote goes to Sarah. Second vote goes to Sarah. Third vote goes to Claire. Fourth
Yo,
vote goes to Claire.
oh,
One vote left, and Sarah is voted out.
alas.
Got our hopes up. Um, so Josh was actually the one on the outs there.
Uh, the Mats got together.
Yep. The power of the mats.
Matt
Um,
testing.
oh yeah, actually no, that is just heading us straight into the merge. I thought we had one more for some reason.
Oh, because I don't believe that
Oh
was
yeah, one person misses the jury. Okay, then
yeah.
even though we're at the merge here, let's do one more then, just so that way we're talking about purely about who's on the jury before we do our assessments.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right.
Okay. Matthew finds the vote sacrifice.
All right.
This is an extra vote power that can be used at one tribal council up to final six. In order to unlock this, he must sacrifice his vote at the next tribal council.
Makes sense.
Okay, so Matthew has to sacrifice this vote. So there it goes. And our only alliances in the game are Carolyn and Yam Yam and Danny and Franny. And Kane wins
Yes,
immunity,
the king does.
guaranteed to make it to the jury.
Oh yeah.
Carson and Yam Yam find something in common. And a new alliance forms between Carolyn, Carson, Danny, Franny, Matthew, and Yam Yam.
Where is Kane?
Yeah, I don't know. This looks like it was Carolyn, Yam Yam, and Danny and Franny, and they each kind of chose someone to bring along as well. Carolyn and
Yeah.
Yam Yam bringing Carson, and I guess they also managed to get in Matthew as well.
This is actually very tricky for this alliance because they brought in the one person that might sacrifice their vote.
Yeah,
If this is like a 6-6 split, Matthew sacrificing his vote here could be bad.
yeah. So if this group can manage to though get their target out and none of them go home, this could be the majority power alliance for the season.
One way to find out.
Okay. Who is going home here? Um, I mean, it could be anyone, but I'm gonna say Heidi. I'm just gonna throw out Heidi's name.
I say that's fair.
Mhm. Okay. Matthew sacrifices his votes. And Carson uses the hidden immunity idol on himself.
All right.
First vote goes to Heidi. Second vote goes to Brandon. Third vote goes to Brandon. Fourth vote goes to Brandon. Fifth vote goes to Brandon.
Well,
Sixth vote goes to Brandon. Brandon is unanimously voted out.
they were like, nope, no challenge beast here.
Yeah,
Bye
they
bye.
just got rid of him. He only got to compete in that one challenge,
Well, that
that
is
one
rather
immunity
good.
challenge, and Kane won it. So Kane can say he beat an NFL a football player.
All these people can.
Yeah,
Um, so,
no, he actually beat him in a immunity challenge.
oh yeah, yeah, that's fair.
Okay.
But
Oh yeah, and
oh wait,
let's do the recap of people.
all right. I feel Carson's playing a pretty solid game right now. The majority alliance that he's also with Yam Yam, Carolyn, Matthew, and Danny and Franny. Um, I feel like especially since they haven't played their cards yet, they could actually steamroll a lot here.
Mhm.
Um, I feel Claire is also playing pretty well. And then Kane, obviously I'm still rooting for him.
Mhm.
Other than that, we haven't seen too much TBH.
Yeah. Even though Carson wasted an idol last time, I think it's fine. If you have two idols, I actually think like going into like your merge boot or whatever, I actually think it's good to play an idol on yourself because that merge boot is so chaotic normally. Um,
Yeah,
Even though this was unanimously, like you have another idol. Like it's not like he's lost all power and can get targeted now. He still has power. So I do think that that's actually like I think that's the super fan mentality. I think that's what you should do is exactly what Carson did. So um yeah, Yam Yam Carolyn definitely being a pretty good power duo. Same with Danny Franny. Um, yeah, I'd say that those are the two power duos and people who are kind of I think in control of the game right now.
all right.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on here. Okay, group number one is Carolyn, Carson, Heidi, Josh, and Kane. Group number two is Danny, Franny, Matt, Matthew, and Yam Yam. I really like to have the name
And
coalition here.
yeah, of course.
Claire does not participate. And of course, the name coalition wins. And they win a spaghetti dinner on a private island.
All right.
And Claire wins immunity.
She was like, I will not be excluded.
Yeah, she got upset about not being a part of that. Okay. Carolyn and Claire have a small fight. Carson is impressing the rest of the team. And Danny and Kane bond strongly.
Yes.
Okay. That's good for Kane, honestly. Get in with Danny and Franny.
Exactly. I still think it's a little up in the air who might go out here.
Mhm.
I might say Heidi or Josh because they're not really with any of the alliances and they don't really have any advantages.
Yeah. Um, Okay, I know Kane just bonded with Danny, but we have also seen Brantsteele hates people who win that first immunity challenge, and they just send them. They just send them right away.
You
I
just
don't
want
understand
Kane
why,
to
but
go.
I swear every Brantsteele, or at least like every other Brantsteele, does that. So there is that
You just
chance.
want Kane to go.
I admittedly yes.
This man's gonna win Survivor 44, and you're like, all right, Ryan, you got me. You got me this time.
I mean, I would love that for the content. Okay. No one stands. First vote goes to Josh. Second vote goes to Kane. Third vote goes to Josh. Fourth vote goes to Kane. Fifth vote goes to Kane. Sixth vote goes to Kane. Seventh vote goes to Josh.
It's not out yet.
Eighth vote goes to Kane.
It's okay. There's three more
And
votes.
Kane is voted out in an 8-3 vote.
Are you satisfied now?
Brantsteele hates the person who wins that first immunity challenge. Unless you go on a run, they hate that person. Okay, so Claire, Kane, and Matt voted Josh. Everyone else voted Kane. So even Danny, who just bonded with him, that Danny just doing jury management?
Probably.
Okay. Group number 1 is Carolyn, Carson, Franny, Matt, and Yam Yam. Group number 2 is Claire, Danny, Heidi, Josh, and Matthew. And group number 2 wins reward. They win a dozen pizzas to be enjoyed at camp.
But they didn't do the name thing again.
I
It's like,
know,
come
yeah.
on.
The name coalition disappeared so quick. And Matthew wins immunity. Okay. Danny leaves the alliance
Oh no. Without Franny?
without Franny. Maybe he's gonna try to create a new alliance, but let Franny be there to be like the eyes and ears of the alliance.
At least not in this episode.
Oh. Okay. Let's see. So Claire won last meeting. I think she's also could be a potential target here. Josh also received some votes. I could see Josh getting votes as well.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I could see with Danny leaving the alliance, maybe trying to target someone pretty big like Claire.
Yeah.
Or would it be brutal if he's just like, I'm sorry, Franny.
Oh
You
my
must.
gosh. If he takes out Franny here,
No. I
I
will
think that
say
would be
this.
that's too early, Danny. You can't do that. That's way too early. Look at
Or
that around like 6 or 5. Okay. Carson uses his other hidden immunity idol.
all right.
First vote goes to Matt. Okay, so we wasted that one as well.
Again.
Second vote goes to Danny. Third vote goes to Claire. Fourth vote goes to Claire. Fifth vote goes to Matt. Sixth vote goes to Matt. Seventh vote goes to Claire. Eighth vote goes to Danny. Ninth vote goes to Claire. One vote left. And it goes to Matt. We are tied between Matt and Claire. Are
That's
we
just tough.
Yeah, are we
Uh,
going to go to rocks or
no, because it
are
was divided between three people. So if Matt and Claire voted for the same person, or at least, or if even one of them did, because usually when it's three people and
Mhm.
it's not like a even tie.
Yeah, there's a chance it can't, but there is still the chance it could. So
Um, I think Carolyn might want to try and get it to rocks if she can,
I mean,
but
she
it's not
refused to
guaranteed.
last time. Maybe she's scared of rocks. Maybe we don't know what's actually happened on 44, and now she's scared of rocks.
This is predict what happens in
Yeah.
44.
uh,
Maybe Jeff was like, "You don't get to keep the rocks once you draw them,"
yeah.
and she's like, "Oh, well then there's no point."
Yeah. I need a souvenir. I'm going on this grand adventure, and I don't even get to keep my stupid rock. What?
Get your buff. You can keep a rock with you.
Okay, let's see here. First vote goes to Matt's. Second vote goes to Matt's. Third vote goes to Claire. Fourth vote goes to Claire. Fifth vote goes to Matt's. Sixth vote goes to Claire. Seventh vote goes to Claire. And Claire is voted out. Look at that. Carolyn flips.
Yeah.
She has been afraid of rocks. Oh, also Yam Yam flipped.
It's part of that
So
alliance.
yeah, Carolyn and Yam Yam, it had no want to do rocks here, which makes sense. I think they're in it for each other. They if one of them would have gone out by rocks, that would have screwed over both of them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay, let's see. Okay, who wins reward? Matthew wins reward and shares it with Yam Yam, Franny, and Carolyn.
Nice.
Okay, they win an aerial tour of the Sacred Islands, a feast of cheeseburgers, French fries, beer, and letters from home. And Franny wins immunity. Good on Franny. Carson and Danny bond strongly. Carolyn and Matt have a small fight. Okay, well, last time Danny bonded strongly with someone, that person went home. So is Carson getting targeted here?
He burned through his idols. I can see it happening. I wouldn't count Matt out either.
Yeah,
So I'd say it's one of the two.
yeah. Yeah, also Matthew, Matthew here, won immunity. So we've seen now the people who have won an immunity has gone home immediately.
It's a possibility. I,
Yeah,
I, I don't. I would like to think that the simulation's not going to be that cookie
that
cutter.
clear cut.
Yeah.
Okay, Matthew uses the extra vote power. So he will vote one extra time. First vote goes to Josh. Second vote goes to Heidi. Third vote goes to Josh. Fourth vote goes to Josh. Fifth vote goes to Josh. Sixth vote goes to Josh. And Josh is unanimously voted out.
Well, that's overkill.
A not need for that extra vote there, Matthew. Okay, let's do I guess the mid merge assessment now.
I'd say Carolyn, the Rock Queen, and yeah, ma'am, they're doing pretty good. Uh, Carson, he's hanging in there, but without
Mm.
that, what is it? Those idols? I
Yeah,
don't
he
know.
wasted potential to make a big play, so now he's kind of lost a little bit of that sparkle he had of pre-merge.
Yeah, and Matthew just wasted his advantage, and especially, yeah, it's something you don't just want to brush off because the further in the game you go, the more that power it has. So
Exactly.
uh,
So,
I would say
yeah.
that's my assessment right now. I feel Danny could be. I know he left the alliance, but he's still in this. He hasn't been targeted, so he
Yeah,
could.
I think Danny and Franny are actually still playing this game pretty well together.
Yeah,
Despite I think Danny has decided to kind of play more of a free agent role, where I think that Alliance looks at him as they think he could vote with them, but Danny is like, I'm okay if I vote out people on that alliance.
yeah.
Okay, reward challenge. Group number one is Carson, Danny, Franny, and Mats against group number two, Carolyn, Heidi, Matthew, and Yam Yam. And group number two wins reward. They win a trip to a survivor spa with a feast.
All right.
Okay. And who wins immunity?
Yeah, yeah.
Heidi wins
I,
immunity. There's everyone, and no one's won immunity twice. It's really been, and just like that, Matthew finds the hidden immunity idol.
okay.
Okay, so the Mats each having an idol. Carolyn has a major meltdown and then has a small fight with Yam Yam. Oh no,
Oh no.
Carolyn.
This is a breakup.
Heidi and Matt bond strongly. And Matthew leaves the alliance.
This has been quite the afternoon.
Yeah, a lot has just gone on. I mean, Carolyn and Yam Yam, who have been playing this game together the whole time, are now potentially looking to, I don't know, target each other, or or Brantsteele setting us up their eventual downfall of this episode.
Not quite sure.
Um, so Heidi has immunity. Mats have idols. Um, I could see Franny getting targeted here. I think that alliance is now kind of splintered enough where I could see maybe targeting her so Danny doesn't have as much power in the game.
I don't know. I feel like with that they're already at both eights or both nines. With that strong alliance, I feel like there's more to be played there.
Mhm. Okay. We will see here. No one stands. First vote goes to Matthew. Second vote goes to Danny. Third vote goes to Matthew. Fourth vote goes to Matthew. The vote goes to Matthew. Sixth vote goes to Danny. And Matthew is voted out after just finding an idol.
Man, he needs to take a letter from he needs to take notes from Ben, where it's like you find an aisle on during the merge, you just have to play it right then and there.
Yeah, yeah. Also, I feel like once someone has found an idol a second time, I think those people are more confident in their idol abilities, and I feel like you're a little more like, go ahead, just play an idol. Like if you think you can find idols, like play them because they're going to put a new one in there.
Yeah.
If you work hard enough, you can find the idols and just keep getting yourself one step closer. But yeah, it looks like Heidi was the other person who's now on the outs. Um, and Matthew's out. Yam Yam finds the hidden immunity idol.
Nice.
Okay, my real first pick is still in this. Okay. Carolyn wins rewards and shares it with Yam Yam, Carson, and Franny. And this is the loved ones, so they all get to spend some time with their loved ones.
Nice.
And who wins immunity? Yam Yam wins immunity. This was Yam Yam's episode.
That it was. Hell yeah.
Carolyn is impressing the rest of the team. Carson now has a major meltdown.
Uh-oh.
And Franny is impressing the rest of the team as a new alliance forms between Carson, Danny, and Heidi.
Okay.
Okay, Danny's looking. I think this might be Danny's like final three. I think he's probably like, you know what? I think I can beat Carson. He's made he's fumbled a lot of opportunities. Heidi has kind of just hasn't done much. I think this is a great final three for Danny.
I'll say that. Yeah.
Okay. Um, so if they're looking to potentially stick together. I think we could see like either a Matt, Carolyn, or Franny going home here.
Hmm. Because that alliance has just been going down so down a hill.
Yeah, I think Danny's. I mean, I think he should take out Franny, but I also could see him maybe wanting to keep her at least one more tribal.
Yeah. I would say Carolyn is probably the most likely.
Carolyn is definitely a really good option here as well. Yeah, I think Carolyn and Matt are the best options. And if Danny wanted to make a big move to kind of put himself ahead already, maybe taking out Franny. But yeah, I think these are the two best options for him. Okay.
All right.
And Matt uses the hidden immunity idol on himself.
Now, did he play it right?
Yeah, that's the question here. First vote goes to Matt, does not count. Second vote goes to Matt. Does not count. Third vote goes to Matt. Does not count. Fourth vote goes to Matt. Does not count.
That he did.
And Heidi gets a
Ooh.
vote. And Heidi is idled out, so Danny's plans go up in smoke just like that.
Still ask Carson.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah,
you
but his
know,
final three, he's now got to find a new third.
but Franny.
Yeah, yeah, he could. I mean, I think you cut. I don't think you want to go to the end with your closest ally.
Uh, let's take a little gander at the six. I know
Mhm.
finale's at five, but if I'm looking here on who's left, I'd say we have a pretty solid mix. Maybe he goes with Matt because it does seem like Matt's kind of on like no man's land.
Yeah, but Matt just had that huge idol play. Like if he's now in the underdog kind of I think mentality where he's clearly being targeted, so now he's got to kind of play with house money or whatever. Like he's got to play pretty hard I think to get there. So if you kind of like let him get there, his story might outweigh what everyone else is necessarily doing. So it's hard. Like I think if you're Danny, I think you want to get to the end now with Carolyn. I think Carolyn and Carson, because Carolyn has blown up a little bit near the end of this game, and it could potentially look bad in a jury's eyes. Um, Carson obviously has had some troubles. Yam Yam I think is playing a really solid game. Matt has the underdog story, and Franny has also played a really good game. And if you're especially Danny, I think you don't want to get to someone who might split votes with you.
Yeah.
Okay, we still have one more for the finale, so we'll do. I kind of went over the recap there, but we'll do one
Yeah,
more
yeah, that's
here.
why I kind of like saved my thoughts a little.
Yeah. Okay. Danny and Franny are pair number one. Matt and Yam Yam pair number two. And Carolyn and Carson are pair number three. And pair number three win. Carolyn and Carson. And they're sharing it with Yam Yam. Overnight stay at a private island with a feast.
Nice.
And Yam Yam wins immunity. First person to win two immunities this season.
I think your number one draft pick is gonna win this simulation.
Oh my god. Yam Yam. Uh,
It
yeah,
is
he's
kind of
got
funny.
idol. He's guaranteed Final Four now.
I will say it has been a habit, mostly by me, actually, eh, that I'm really influenced by who wins the Brantsteele with Tori and
Yeah,
Owen. So it'd be funny that if this time around it was you, though we did well, then again, they released a lot of the information relatively early this time around.
yeah, yeah.
So
Also, we are definitely, I think, doing this a little later because we had our season of the fans, so we kind of pushed this
yeah,
back a little bit. But I do think it would probably be like yesterday is when I figured would be, or like 2 days ago would be when I thought that they would do all the releasing stuff, but they kind of
yeah.
just self dropped it even earlier. So
Oh well, you know.
yeah, I mean we'll take it. I'm not complaining. Okay. So Yam Yam safe. Uh, I I mean I think you take out Matt here.
You can see Matt. Could also see now getting rid of Franny or
Yeah,
Carson.
yeah,
Depends
yeah.
on
I
where
can see
the
that.
voting blocks are.
Agreed, agreed. Okay. First vote goes to Danny. Second vote goes to Matt. Third vote goes to Danny. Fourth vote goes to Danny. Fifth vote goes to Matt. Sixth vote goes to Matt. We are tied between Matt and Danny.
Well, will Carolyn finally go to Rocks and get her rock?
Yeah, Carolyn and Yam Yam have yet to go to Rocks. Yam Yam does have immunity, so maybe the pair will actually be more willing to do it. But also, you're on a final six. Like, just take out Matt or Danny. Like, these are two threats. Like, don't go to
Yeah,
bat for a threat.
no.
First vote goes to Danny. Second vote goes to Matt's. Third vote goes to Matt's. And fourth vote goes to Danny. We are going to Rocks. Carolyn, Carson, or Franny will be drawing a rock and
It,
going
it,
out of this game.
it has to be Carolyn. It has to
It,
be Carolyn.
come on, Brantsteele, give us what we want and have Carolyn go out from Rocks. Token, the lover of rocks, has been succumbed to rocks
Of course.
twice, two times, flipping to avoid rocks. She goes to rocks and then goes out.
Jeff is like, all right, I did say that you don't get to keep the rocks, but for you, you get to keep this rock.
You deserve it, Carolyn. Oh my god.
$1 million, no. A rock, yes.
Okay. Well. So yeah, Carolyn, Matt, and Yam Yam voted Danny. Carson, Danny, and Franny voted Matt. Okay, final five now. Okay, now here's
Um,
our real finale now.
all right, so I think Yam Yam is, well, he's guaranteed fire making
Mhm.
at least. So he's guaranteed four. So I think he has a pretty good shot to the end, and honestly, a good shot of winning. Um, I still think, as we stated, Matt has that underdog story. Danny's been playing a pretty good game alongside Franny.
Mhm.
But Franny has kind of been more so with the numbers, and Carson, I don't know. I'd say like out of everyone, he's number five, but I wouldn't count him out necessarily.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think Carson's the most likely to maybe get brought to the end or something along those regards. I think if I had to say my two top front runners, it would be Yam Yam and Danny. I think that one of those two have the best chances. Um, I think Danny definitely needs to take out Franny. Like I think if he splits votes, I think that's opportunity for Yam Yam to just get to the end and like if it's Danny, Franny, and Yam Yam, I think Yam Yam can win in that scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He only has two shots. Well, they both have two shots to get rid of one another. So
yeah. Who wins final five immunity? Yam
yeah,
Yam
yeah.
wins immunity.
So we might just give that idol to someone just for the lulz.
Yeah, yeah. You can either give it or keep it as a souvenir. Carolyn had a souvenir as a rock. Maybe he wants his own rock. That's the idol.
Maybe.
Yam Yam shares the reward with two other castaways, Carson and Franny. Okay. So I think you either take out Franny or Matt here. Um,
See
Matt
that?
has been targeted quite a bit, and then I think Franny is someone that could easily also just get to the end and have that kind of sleeper edits of she was kind of controlling things from and using Danny as kind of like the figurehead of it. So yeah,
I'm gonna say Matt though. I don't think Brantsteele is gonna be that smart
yeah,
this time around.
yeah. I think that's right. Okay, Yam Yam uses the idol on Carson. First vote goes to Franny. Second vote goes to Matt. Third vote goes to Matt. And
Yeah.
Matt is voted out in a 4-1 vote. He had a good run, but had to stop here.
Which is ironic because he did run a marathon.
Yeah.
His proudest achievement. One of them.
Exactly. Yeah. Paralleling Survivor with real life. Okay, final four now. Who will win final immunity?
Yam yam.
Danny wins immunity.
Okay, I think.
Yeah, do you just put Franny and Yam Yam in and hope that, and basically say, I guess I'm facing one of them to see who wins?
Yeah, because that's always the tricky thing about making fire. It's a resume move,
Mhm.
and both their resumes are pretty solid.
Yeah,
So tough call.
yeah. Okay, let's see here. No events occurring as Danny grants safety to Franny and puts Carson and Yam Yam into fire. And Yam Yam wins. Carson is eliminated.
Look, looks like Yam Yam is winning this game. I feel like that's just how it's going to go down.
That's how
He
is
has the
Yam
best
Yam?
resume, and his number one is on the alliance. I mean,
Oh,
in the jury.
yeah, yeah. This is gonna be tough for Danny and Franny. Because I do think it's bad to have your closest alliance at the final two with you if someone else is there who also played a good game.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, let's see here. First vote goes to Yam Yam. Second vote goes to Franny. Third vote goes to Danny. Fourth vote goes to Franny. Fifth vote goes to Danny. Sixth vote goes to Yam Yam. Seventh vote goes to Danny. Eighth vote goes to Danny. And winner in a 4-2-2 vote, Danny managed to get just a couple extra votes onto him.
Interesting. Like, good for him. Like
Yeah.
I said, first responders, they're like one of the best archetypes to be in this game.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's like Jeremy Collins. Like, Jeremy doesn't actually need to play that impressive of a game if he just gets to the ends. Like, him
yeah,
getting to the end alone will probably garner him at least a few votes. And I think we might have seen that here is at least a few people are willing to vote for him. Carson, Claire, Kane, and Matt all voted Danny.
yeah.
Heidi and Josh voted Franny, and Carolyn and Matthew voted Yam Yam.
Does Kane get fan favorite?
Carolyn wins fan. I mean, I think that.
That's more fitting.
Yeah, I mean, she had probably the greatest moment on this episode. With
She
her.
gets some rough.
Yeah. uh. Okay. Well, congratulations, Danny. Yeah, Danny and Franny and Yam Yam. I think this was a good final three overall. Like, I think all three of them had potential to had a winning potential at least.
I agree. I agree.
Hmm. Yeah. So yeah, let's go over here to the other statistics. Yam Yam with those three immunities. But he tied challenge wins with Matthew Grinstead, who won 4 rewards. He was winning those rewards.
Yeah, I will
Um,
say, the other Matt had the most amount of votes against him
yeah, 20.
by a big chunk. Man,
Yeah, Yam Yam had 0. He had no one voted Yam Yam. Let's look at
yeah, no one
strategic. So
could.
the most strategic in the game was Franny, followed by Yam Yam, followed by Max. Interesting. And then yeah, we got the guy who was here, Carson, with the most.
Nice.
Okay. Well, that's going to do it here for our Survivor 43 predictions. That there you have it. Survivor 43, I mean 44.
44.
My bad. My bad.
It
44.
it's gonna
Um
take a while to get used to it. I get it.
yeah, exactly. It's weird that we're already on Survivor 44. I'll just be completely honest.
I'll
Uh
be honest. 2023 has been kind of flying by, in my
yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, yeah, we're already halfway through February here. It feels like I feel like New Year's was yesterday.
You're not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I'm excited for this season. I'm interested to see what they have in store. I remember because I watched the trailer so many times in preparation for our and for our, draft and whatnot,
Mhm.
that I'm interested to see what this birdcage is all about that we see in the trailer.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Do you know how it works?
no,
Because I know how it works.
how does it work?
So there's going to be an idol hidden like in the birdcage that is in plain sight that everyone is going to know that a hidden immune idol is in that birdcage. Anyone can grab it. Um, and the whole like thing is like you kind of want to do it when no one knows. But then when you reach into it, you're going to see a real idol and a fake idol, and you're supposed to put the fake idol back so that way if someone else grabs it, they now have a fake idol.
Interesting.
Yeah, which I'm curious how that's going to play. It's definitely a one season gimmick. Like I don't think you could do it. I don't want to see it again, but I'm
I
interested to
mean,
see it this season.
I think that's kind of what Survivor is doing now when it comes to their idols. It's like, hey, we're not going to, it's going to be a lot more high risk, high reward, and also a lot of mind games. Like,
Mhm.
I will say the passwords was interesting. The And then last year with the beads, it did showcase a lot of great gameplay as a result on how do you convince people to get these beads, especially if they're very adamant about keeping it.
Yeah.
So this is another level of gameplay and stuff because like if everyone knows where it is, it's like now everyone is kind of being like, buddy system,
Mhm.
no two people are left alone, and if they are, well, even if they are left alone, that could be suspect.
Yeah.
It could also be a thing. There's a few scenarios where that can play out. I can also see someone realizing, oh, there's a fake idol in there. What if someone replaces one of the idols with a fake one, and
Mhm.
then there's two fakes in there, and you leave the note in there? Or
Yeah.
once you take I feel like it can lead to a lot of interesting gameplay.
Yeah, yeah, it's going to be interesting because I think because of how the birdcage works, we might see three idols found in episode one. Because the second night happens, someone's taking an idol. Like, so there's no way that there's going to be that we're going to have all these 18 people who have played Survivor and none of them are going to. We're not going to have one person that's going to be like,
Yeah,
hey, maybe I didn't bond with these people. I should grab it.
yeah, I can see that if like, oh, I was in the wrong votes on one episode, like let's say, oh, my number one got blindsided. It looks like I'm on the outs.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing when I get back
Yeah.
to camp.
Yeah, or yeah, literally imagine like 5 minutes before going to tribal, someone just grabs the idol and says, "Okay, good luck, guys," and then you head out
Yeah,
to tribal. Like,
that's gonna be interesting, and I can see it play out literally any way we say it. Like I
yeah,
can,
there's
I don't
there's
even
there's
think it's
ways, yeah, there's variants, and that's the best key in my opinion to game theory and how to construct a game is when you have a concept that has multiple variations. Like I don't like it sometimes when they have like the do this or do that. Like because then it's like okay, you're basically telling you here are the only options in the game. But with this, there is a lot of different variants to it,
yeah,
which creates a lot more like the players get to play. They get to actually play the game instead of let the game play them.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm very hyped, and what you just said got me a little more hyped.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, we're excited for this. We still got some more branch deals that are going to be coming your way as well until the season starts rolling out here. But yeah, this was a fun one. Got to see the players. Danny is our 44 prediction Brantsteele winner. So we'll see how he does. All of our winners on our Brantsteele have made it to the merge. They have
We,
all made it.
like we said, we kind of figured that Danny was going to, you know, probably make the merge. I think we both kind of
Mhm.
agreed, like, he's not going to go out free merge
Yeah,
unless the mergatory thing kind of happens and they decide, oh, it's just best to get rid of him.
yeah,
I don't, I'd say you're more likely to have immunity than not immunity. So he could potentially, I'd say his odds of being safe from that are pretty high. So yeah, I'd
Mhm.
say he has a fair shot at
Yeah,
winning
yeah,
this.
definitely. And we're gonna have to watch for Yam Yam. Yam Yam had a crazy performance on our Brantsteele here, so who knows?
We did. And yeah, guys, keep Kane alive.
Keep Kane alive. We'll see how far Kane makes. If he makes the merge, it will be. I will take back everything I said about him. I'll go on to the train of he's winning the season.
Don't get me wrong. When I was making this list, like I said, I wasn't going to choose him as my winner pick. But when I was looking at everyone, I was like, you know what? Yeah, it was something where it's like, I don't know. But my instincts after looking at everyone else says Kane. So I went with Kane. D&D players, have to unite.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I recently started a D&D campaign, but it's in the world of Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Ooh, nice. What bender are you?
I am a firebender. Yeah, my
Interesting.
name is Dan Firefist, and I have a punch first, never ask questions attitude.
Oh, you're one of I mean, like I was about to say, I knew you would probably be pretty good at D&D, and that totally sounds like someone you would play.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun. Like my abilities at the start of the game are just like I can ask the DM who's the easiest thing to punch, and I can punch it, and it'll do more damage.
Nice. Nice.
Okay. Well, that's going to do it here for this episode. We will see you in the next one.
Peace.